second season is set to begin in the CWHL. After 56 games, we have 4 teams who are 3 wins shy of hosting the Clarkson Cup. A week ago, Calgary and Brampton met in a 1-game winner-takes-all showdown for home ice in their semifinal series, with the Inferno scoring in the dying minutes of the game to force the Thunder to travel to the Stampede City for their best-of-3 series. The other semifinal matchup was decided weeks ago, as the 4th-place Toronto Furies traveled to Montreal to face the regular season champions, the Canadiennes, for the first time since the 2014 Clarkson Cup Championship game. A contest that saw Natalie Spooner net the winner in the shootout to give Toronto its lone CWHL title. And she's hoping to continue to be a thorn in the Canadiens' side tonight as she leads her Toronto team into battle against a team that's on a roll. Montreal has not lost a home game in a calendar year, and the top line is made up of the top 3 scorers in the league, including Angela James Bowl winner Marie-Philippe Poulain, who picked up 10 points in her past 8 games. The Canadiens swept through the regular season series against the Furies, but as we all know, the knockout round is a whole different story. It's Game 1, the Furies and the Canadiens, next on CWHL Live. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Scotiabank, by the Dairy Farmers of Canada, Winsport Canada, Sportsnet, Bauer Hockey, Tim Hortons, Toyota, the Globe and Mail, Molson Coors, Bridgeforce, Porter Airlines, Gong Show Gear, OMGs, the Calgary Flames, Toronto Maple Leafs, and the Montreal Canadiens. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to CWHL Live. I'm John Bauer along with Robin Flynn, and on behalf of our entire ISI Live crew here in Montreal, we welcome you to the opening game of the Clarkson Cup playoffs. It is Game 1 of the best-of-3 series between the Toronto Furies and Les Canadiennes de Montréal. Robin, the Canadiens dominated the regular season series. However, as we know, the second season can be completely different.
Yeah, as we know, once you get into the playoffs, absolutely anything can happen. The last time these two met in the playoffs, Toronto was the 4 seed, and they got past Montreal in overtime. Again, Montreal is the 1 seed. You've got Toronto as the 4 seed. Montreal heavily favored. They went 6-0 against Toronto in the regular season, but anything can happen in this best-of-3 series.
They outscored Toronto 27-9 in those 6 games, and Montreal has been dominant at home. They haven't lost a game all season on home ice, and in fact, we have to go back a year to March 1st, 2015 for their last loss, and that was against the Boston Blades. But Toronto, they have had some success against Montreal over the last 2 years.
Yeah, this season they weren't able to get a win against Montreal, but those games were a lot closer than they seem. You may look at those lopsided scores and think, wow, Montreal totally dominated Toronto, but that wasn't the case at all. They were really close games, with Montreal potting a few late in the game. A couple of empty netters were the difference makers there. Christina Kessler has looked so good this season, particularly against Montreal. Definitely don't want to count out Toronto. This is going to be a very tough series.
Toronto did hand Montreal 2 losses last season in the regular season. In fact, they won on November 29th here. It was a shootout win, and guess who scored the game winner?
Natalie Spooner.
As always, the ace in the shootout. Now, there is no shootout in the postseason. If ever we are tied after regulation time, we play full 20-minute 5-on-5 periods until there is a winner. The only reason why a few years ago in the Clarkson Cup Championship game there was a shootout is because of television constraints, which we don't have here this year in the playoffs with our television partner Sportsnet. They will continue with the game right until there's a winner. So it's really exciting that we have this opportunity to bring you the playoffs this season. And Robin, when we take a look at the head-to-head series this season, Ann-Sophie was the leading scorer for the Canadiennes.
Yeah, Ann-Sophie definitely led the way for the Canadiennes. But don't forget Marie-Philippe Poulain, her line mate. She missed 2 of Montreal's games against Toronto this season, and she still managed to finish 3rd in scoring against the Furies. In second, their other line mate, Kim Deschênes. That top line has been absolutely lethal this season, and Toronto's really going to have to do a good job of shutting that first line down if they want to have any chance to stay in this game.
Natalie Spooner was the leading point getter for the Furies against the Canadiennes this year with 4 points.
Yeah, Natalie Spooner is somebody that you don't want to discount at all. She's an all-world talent. She's a Clarkson Cup champion, an Olympic gold medalist, and she's only 25 years old. It's only going to get better for Natalie Spooner. She even this season had a 5-goal game against Calgary, one of Toronto's wins this season. 5 goals, 1 assist. She's somebody that Montreal is going to want to focus heavily on. If they can shut Spooner down, they can shut the Furies down.
On the ice this evening with us are two young hockey players from Les Élites de Lac Saint-Louis. They are the flag bearers, and their names are Olivia Springhetti, who is a big fan of Les Canadiennes and our broadcast, and the other young flag bearer this evening is Emma Méthode-Pizy, who is down on the ice right now, and hopefully we'll be able to get a look at them as they are the official flag bearers for tonight's game. It is game one between Les Canadiennes and the Toronto Furies. As we take a look down at the ice level now, we can see the young flag bearers, as we mentioned, Olivia Springhetti and Emma Méthode-Pizy, who are from the Élites de Lac Saint-Louis.
And Olivia is a huge fan of the broadcast, huge fan of Les Canadiennes. It's her dream to play for Les Canadiennes someday. She was at the youth camp this summer, and I actually got to chat with her a little bit last weekend when she was here for the weekend series against the Boston Blades. Her favorite Canadienne player, defender Carly Hill.
A very good choice. A multiple-time CIS champion with the McGill Martlets, and now striving for her first Clarkson Cup championship. It's time to pause for the national anthem with Alyssa Donay. Alyssa Donay with the singing of the national anthems. It's time now to meet the starting goaltenders in tonight's game, and we begin with the visiting Toronto Furies. Getting the call between the pipes is Christina Kessler. Robin, despite the win-loss record, still some very impressive numbers.
Yeah, she managed to pick up 4 of Toronto's 6 wins this season, a .334 goals against average and a .902 save percentage. Considering Toronto gave up the second most shots in the league, that's very impressive from Christina Kessler. And on the Montreal side, of course, all-world talent in Charlene Labonte. She's somebody who has won 3 Olympic gold medals. She's no stranger to the big game. Surprisingly enough, though, she has yet to win a Clarkson Cup. The one thing missing from her mantle, 152 goals against average, .925 save percentage, and one of the candidates for goalie of the year in the CWHL this year.
This is one of 2 semifinal games going on this evening in the CWHL. Game number 1 of the best of 3 series between number 2 Calgary and number 3 Brampton comes your way here on CWHL Live this evening at 8:30 Eastern Time. So hopefully you'll be sticking around for a big night of CWHL hockey as you take a look at Christina Kessler with her blue liner, the forward Christy Zamora. At the other end, Charlene Labonte. As Robin said, 17-2, 152 goals against average and a .925 save percentage this season. So the 2 teams out on the ice, we're about set to get underway. It will be Poulin centering a line with Bette and Kim Deschênes on the blue line, Julie Chu and Lauriane Rougeau. An important scratch in tonight's game for the Canadiennes, Leslie Oles out.
Yes, apparently she was not feeling well yesterday, so she will not be playing today. Unfortunately, that'll we'll see what that does to the third line because she's really fast, brings a lot of speed. So hopefully she'll be back tomorrow for game 2.
Spooner out there centering a line with Corey Chevry on her left, and on, it will be Alyssa Belden centering the line with Spooner and with Chevry on the blue line. Bonello and Shannon Molson. We're underway. Glad you're along with us here on CWHL Live. And off the opening faceoff, Natalie Spooner brings it in. Wrist shot, and it bounces towards the goal line, and Kim Deschênes comes back and knocks it away from the vacant cage.
Well, Lorianne Rougeau did some good work there to keep that puck out of the net.
Here's Poulain on the right side for the Canadiennes after an early scare, as Natalie Spooner almost opens the scoring in the opening seconds of the hockey game. Bette battling with Belden in the right wing corner. She has the puck, brings it into the face-off circle, into the slot now, loses a handle on it, and Spooner is away on the right wing side. Spooner cuts across the grain, gives it to Chevry. In her skates, she kicks it ahead into the far corner. Julie Chu gives chase. Chevry plays it over to the right wing side, and Kim Deschênes comes up with it and lifts it out to center ice as the Canadiens go for a line change. Molson at center, hammers the puck in off of the glass. It bounces over to the far corner as Labonte came out from her crease to try to play it. Rougeau now collects the disc for Les Canadiennes, and she will bring it up the left side for Noémie Marin. Ahead at center for Caroline Ouellette. Ouellette into the offensive zone. Goes into the corner, left wing side, gets around Gaskin, passes off, and now will take the pass back, comes out in front of the net, but she's bodied just enough for Terry to come up with the disc for Toronto and skate it out to center. In neutral ice on the right wing side, Toronto will clear it in the offensive zone. Chartrand had it, turns it over. Here's Terry on the short side with a shot that is stopped by Labonte. And Cathy Chartrand, the captain, up the middle for Caroline Ouellette. Ouellette goes up the middle, now cuts to the left side. Goes wide, tries to shoot from a sharp angle, and goes right across the face of the goal with her shot. Stevenson on the far side for Toronto, battling there with Jordana Peroff, her former teammate, as Peroff won a Clarkson Cup in 2014 with these Furies. Now the puck is locked up long enough for a whistle.
Interesting to see Caroline Ouellette, as usual, taking a couple of early chances. That second line, since she's been moved down to playing, particularly with Rookie of the Year nominee Katia Clement-Hedra, they've had a lot of success together. And I think that most teams are going to want to shut down Marie-Philippe Poulain's line, but you can't discount that second line either.
In her own zone, Suzuki with it. Up the near side, has her pocket picked by Emmanuel Blais. Blais back to the line to Bro. Bro left point, takes a shot through traffic, knocked down in front, and it goes right to Emmanuel Blais, but she couldn't get the shot off as it goes wide of the goal. Here is French battling in the corner. And now up with is Jordana Peroff for Les Canadiennes. She's knocked to the ice by Sarah Stevenson. Stevenson clears, but it's kept in by Peroff. Peroff drops it back. Emma with a slap shot through traffic. Big rebound, corralled by French, and she will rim it around the boards. It comes to the near point, kept in by Bro. Good job by Sophie Bro to keep the play onside. Stevenson now on the far side there for Tara French. She has the puck being watched there by Kim Deschênes. Deschênes with the steal, walks out in front, backhand shot, and a stop by Kessler, and she will hold on with 17 and 22 to go in the first period.
I love looking at the success that Kim Deschênes has had this season. We talked about Caroline Ouellette being bumped down to the second line. Well, that was to make room for Kim Deschênes on that top line with Ann-Sophie Bette and Marie-Philippe Poulain. And ever since that move was made, she jumped up in the scoring, ended up finishing 4th overall in the CWHL.
Poulain wins the faceoff to Rougeau at the left point. She'll play it into the corner for Deschênes. She's bothered there by Bonello. Puck clear to the blue line. Kept in by Rougeau. Right point now, Julie Chu through traffic, wrist shot, big rebound as it was knocked down by Bonello, and it's cleared out to center ice. Chu backpedaling towards her own blue line. Going to the right side now, leaves it there for Rougeau, who'll come up the middle. Now left wing pass for Poulain. She steps aside a check, tries to hit Deschênes in front, but Gaskin intercepted the puck. Belden on the far point, has her pocket picked there by Poulain. Deschênes with it. Kim Deschênes back to the line for Julie Chu, who scored last Saturday night with a slap shot from the point. She waits, and now she will hammer it around the boards. It will come over to the near side. Ouellette is the first player to the wall to pick up the disc. Spooner comes up with it now, though, for Toronto, and she will skate it out to center, right to left. Into the offensive zone she goes. She takes a wrist shot, and it goes off of Cathy Chartrand's stick out of play.
Well, Natalie Spooner is somebody that's definitely going to log some significant minutes tonight, and she's definitely somebody Toronto has to count on a lot for their offense. She finished 5th in the CWHL in scoring. She was 3rd overall in the CWHL heading into the final weekend. Toronto was inactive, and Montreal, of course, lit the lamp several times against Boston and managed to climb up above her in the scoring shootout race.
24 goals by Montreal last weekend against Boston. But Boston did finally score a goal. Their only goal of the season against Montreal in 6 games.
Yeah, Megan Myers getting that one. It was a great moment here at Etienne Desmarteaux.
Up the middle, Willette tips it out to center. Backpedaling at her own blue line, that was Suzuki. She tries to spot Terry free on the right side, but it goes out of her reach, and Carly Hill back in her own zone, plays up the far boards, kept in by Molson at the left point. Rising wrister goes over the goal. Behind the net, Caroline Prévost leaves it there for Terry. Terry spinning off the check of Hill, but she lost the puck, and Hill pokes it free, but it's kept in there by Jess Vella as she'll play it over to the far side. Chartrand goes cross ice to the near wing for Willette, skating it out to center as the Canadiens go for a line change. Willette into the offensive zone, takes 2 white jerseys with her into the corner. Stevenson comes up with it as Sarah Stevenson banks it off the boards far side. Karel Aymar keeps it in. Zamara runs into her, and Shannon Molson has it deep in her own territory for Toronto. Goes cross ice to the near wing for Vella. Vella at center, had the puck knocked off her stick there by Emily Bacchia, and back in Canadien territory is Bro. Goes far side for Aymar. Stretch pass for Peroff out of her reach, and that will go for an icing call against the Canadiens. 4 minutes and 57 seconds gone by in the first period, no score.
You really get the sense that the tone was set early with Toronto getting that first scary scoring chance just 10 seconds into the first period. And ever since then, you get the feeling that everybody is sort of taking their time. They don't want to make any mistakes. A lot is on the table here. This is not quite yet for all the marbles, but whoever wins game 1 could easily end the series tomorrow.
And in a short series, you do have the, you're bang on, Robin, that anything can happen. The shorter the series, the lower seeded team does have more of an advantage because
absolutely,
usually when you play best of 7 series, the better team in theory should win, unless, of course, you get the Los Angeles Kings who just run
go
through
on
everybody.
to win the Stanley Cup.
Exactly. As Spooner has it on the far side at the half boards. She'll play it down low. Chevry with it. Corey Chevry over the near side to Bonello at the point. Her shot hits a leg in front. Pinballs over to Spooner. She'll reverse it to the far side. Blais has her pocket picked at the hash marks on the far side by Suzuki. And now the puck is played over to the near side, where Bacchia will clear it out to center. Not far enough for an icing charge, so that allows the Canadiens to get a line change. And the number 1 line is out there. Aymar tips it ahead for Bette. She's got Poulin going towards goal. Poulin with it, takes a shot, stopped by Kessler. Big rebound in front! And Spooner will corral the disc and bring it back up the left wing side. Spooner in a foot race with her number 24 counterpart, Bette. Bette knocks her down, penalty coming up here to the Canadiens. Ann-Sophie Bette for hooking.
And that's not something we're used to seeing from Ann-Sophie Bette. She only has 12 penalty minutes on the season, and usually what Ann-Sophie Bette is known for is drawing the penalties, not taking them herself. Definitely something that she didn't want to do in that moment, but when you've got Natalie Spooner coming into the offensive zone, what other choice do you have?
Toronto's power play, 14 of 97, 13.4% efficiency. 4th overall in the CWHL this year. Montreal's penalty kill, 77 of 80 for 96.3%.
Yeah, that's the best penalty kill in the CWHL this season. They've only allowed, 3 goals? Difficult.
And only 1 since November. And that was at Calgary back on the 14th of February. Prévost has it, tips it over to Chevry. She'll bank it in on the right side. Prévost shovels it in on goal. And Lamonte down on all fours will make the stop.
Interestingly, part of the reason that they're so successful on the penalty kill is Ann-Sophie Bette. She's an excellent penalty killer, so having her in the box is going to change the makeup of this penalty kill unit somewhat.
The Canadiens did score 5 shorthanded goals. Caroline Willette with a pair of them this season.
2 of them coming on the same penalty against the Boston Blades on January 2nd at their first game at Brassard. I remember it well.
So let's set up the power play unit here for you for Toronto. Baldwin, Fulton, and Terry out there. On the back end, it is Spooner and Bonello. So essentially 4 forwards out there on this power play. And on the PK, that's Julie Chu with Lauriane Rougeau on the back end. Caroline Willette and Marie-Philippe Poulin has it. On the left wing side, here's Poulin, short-handed into the offensive zone. Drop pass for Willette. Willette curls back to the blue line, will rag the disc back to Chartrand in her own zone. She goes to Carly Hill as the D partners have just changed up. And now the Canadiens will go for a full line change here. As Terry has it on the right wing side for Toronto. Bring it into the offensive zone. Goes below the right wing circle behind the net. Now at the far side, bank pass off the boards for Spooner at the left point. Spooner into the slot. Wrist shot through traffic. Knocked down in front as it went off of Baldwin. And the Canadiens will clear it down the ice.
Nice work from Montreal in this penalty kill to make sure that Toronto isn't really able to get any rebounds.
50 seconds to go in the power play for Toronto. No score in the hockey game. Game one of the best of three. Clarkson Cup semifinal series and the first ever CWHL playoff game here in Montreal. Here is Spooner in the slot, going right to left. Tries to feather it through for Prevost. It hit a skate and it bounces into the far corner. Prevost back to the line for Spooner at the left point. Spooner has Molson free at the right point. She gives it to her. Molson fakes the shot down low for Fulton. Back to the line. Spooner with a slap shot. And Charlie Labonte comes across left to right to make the save.
Wow, the athleticism from Natalie Spooner. Somebody we're going to be talking about her all weekend, John. She's able to stay on the ice basically for that entire power play opportunity. 20 seconds left in the penalty to Bete as Spooner finally gets a little bit of a break here as the whistle was blown.
Prevost, Chevrolet, and Vela out there now, up front for Toronto. Suzuki and Molson on the back end as the Canadiennes. Caroline Ouellette will play the puck down the ice. Poulin almost steals in tight with 5 seconds to go on the penalty kill for the Canadiennes. Toronto will play it on deep into the offensive zone and an icing charge coming up here. So that will do it for the power play for the Furies.
Good to see Sena Suzuki getting some power play time. She finished first among all Japanese drafted players in the CWHL this season in points with 6. She had a goal and 5 assists. She was the 4th Japanese woman ever drafted into the CWHL this offseason, and she's really contributed well to the Toronto Furies and improved greatly this season.
Fan favorite at the All-Star game as well.
She was indeed.
Here's a steal in the neutral zone by Poulin. Molson ups it for Chevrolet. Chevrolet played it to Aymar for the Canadiens, but she had a little bit of difficulty. Now the Canadiens will play it deep into Toronto territory. Suzuki back behind her own net, comes out the near side. Bete will force her over to the boards. Bete just back on the ice after serving 2 for hooking. Molson with a high stick knocks the puck down. Aymar will play it on the free puck for the Canadiens. Pass in front, and it was tipped just wide, as that was Clément Aydra who got her stick down to take a Kim Deschênes pass, and now Toronto ices the puck.
There's a couple of chances now where Montreal, if they just had their stick on the ice, they might have been able to tip in a pass that was going across the slot. Ann-Sophie Bete that time, Kim Deschênes on their last scoring opportunity. Keep those sticks on the ice, girls, and you never know what can happen.
Huge weekend for women's hockey here in Montreal. There are 3 Montreal University teams playing in the Canadian University playoffs. We have the Canadiens playing. There could be 6 games this weekend in women's hockey, elite level in this city, and it is a great weekend for it. It's a hooking call coming here to Toronto off the face-off as Noémie Marin was knocked down, so actually it will be an interference call against Toronto. And the Canadiens will go to their first power play of the hockey game.
They scored 22 power play goals this season in just 24 games. So they averaged almost a power play goal per game this season, 22.6% efficiency on the season.
There's some NHL teams that would like to be clipping at that mark.
Oh, absolutely. But I think when you have a player who's out on the ice right now, like Marie-Philippe Poulin taking the draw in the offensive zone, winning the draw, that's somebody who's going to help your power play.
Toronto 78% on the penalty kill, but they gave up the most goals on the PK this year with over 20 goals against. As Ouellette Gibson goes with Poulin out the right side. Pass intended for Bete. It hits the end boards, goes to Laurent Rougeau. Bete tip pass back to the line for Poulin to Ouellette, left side, Rougeau in the face-off circle. Now she'll bring it back out. She gives it to Ouellette. Ouellette, wrist shot through traffic, got through, big run off the end boards! And a good play by Kessler to get her blocker out to knock that puck into the air because Bete was standing on the doorstep. Poulin on the far side has her pocket picked by Natalie Spooner. She'll sweep it down the ice. Spooner with a pair of shorthanded goals this season gives chase. Caroline Ouellette back to play it for the Canadiens. Her and her Olympic teammate are battling along the boards there. As also coming in is Poulin now. Julie Chu also there. 3 red jerseys on this power play for the Canadiens deep in their own zone. A minute gone by in the advantage. As Julie Chu will start the rush up between the rings for the Canadiens. Ahead for Ouellette at center. Left wing side now Marin into the offensive zone. Marin has Clément Aydra in front of the goal. Now she'll opt to skate it out far side. Back to Chartrand at the right point. Deschênes goes to the net now. Chartrand with a shot tipped in front. It goes off of Kessler and out of play.
Montreal sure has a lot of firepower from that blue line, whether they've got Kathy Chartrand taking the slapper, even Julie Chu. Man, that's a rocket that I wouldn't want to find myself in front of, and something Christina Kessler does admirably tonight.
Marin out to take the draw for the Canadiennes. Kim Deschênes and Katia Clément-Aidra on the wings. Aymar and Chartrand on the back end. Vela and Prévost out there up front for Toronto on the PK. Bonello and Molson on the back end. Here's Aymar down low for Deschênes. To Marin, tip pass back to the line for Aymar, but her pass across for Chartrand kicks out of the zone. So with 20 seconds to go in the power play, the Canadiens have to reset. Here's Marin on the right side, takes the wrist shot, stopped by Kessler, big rebound, and driving towards the goal was Aymar. She barrels over Kessler, and there's going to be a penalty to Les Canadiennes for goaltender interference, as Chartrand will touch the puck in neutral ice, and Les Canadiens will get the gate. It's actually a roughing call, as Aymar came driving in from the left point to try and bat home the rebound.
Well, it's the playoffs and everything. You got to throw everything you've got at the goaltender. But it looks like we've maybe even got some incidental penalties here.
Actually, it's Kim Deschênes that goes to the box, and with only 8 seconds left in the Toronto penalty, that's why we'll be skating for a side.
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
See, we're just not used to having so much media and cameras up here blocking our view. We used to have an unimpeded view here.
It's true, but it's the playoffs. All hands on deck, John. Everybody's here to enjoy it.
CBC Sportsnet is here. John Bartlett, who will be calling tomorrow's game. TVA Sport. Roger Brulotte, who is one of the Expo/Blue Jays broadcasters for TVA Sport, writes for the Journal de Montréal. He's here in the house tonight. It's a lot of fun to see this much media attention, and of course you were on TSN 690 talking with Mitch Melnick about this game tonight.
Yep, everybody cares about women's hockey now, and it's about damn time.
It's fantastic, the attention. And of course, folks, if you want to listen to more women's hockey talk, you can check out Robin's show Sunday mornings on TSN 690 or tsn.ca/Montreal.
Exactly, center ice, 10 a.m. every Sunday morning.
Here is Poulin, 4-on-4 now. Montreal into the penalty kill. Poulin takes the shot. Kessler, big stop. The rebound in front. Rougeau overskates it, tries to get the backhand shot, but she'll sweep it over to the near side. Chouin Rougeau on the blue line. Willette and Poulin up front on the penalty kill. Bonello with it. The captain for Toronto setting up the power play. She comes out in front of her own goal, goes right wing side for Emily Fulton. Fulton skating through center, gains the blue line, and dumps it in. She loses her stick. She'll give chase. As with Willette, who backhands it over to the near side for Julie Chu, shorthanded, and she will skate it out to center ice. So Chu gains the blue line, drops it for Willette. Of course, Julie Chu is a natural forward, converted to a blue liner here with Les Canadiennes, so she does have that offensive knack when carrying the puck.
And she uses it often. She's somebody who pinches in, and often some of her forward teammates have to fall back.
Here's a steal. Marin has it. Has Bette going to the goal. There's it to Bette, who fires it just wide. Marin back towards the blue line. It hits a stanchion. Bette comes up with it. Bette will play it back out to center ice for Chartrand with 45 seconds to go in the penalty to Kim Deschênes for roughing. Here is Bette coming in. Winds, fires Kessler with the stop as she takes it in the right shoulder and smothers the puck with her glove.
Ann-Sophie Bette has had a couple of good chances, and you can tell that she's not happy with herself for taking that penalty and putting her team at the disadvantage. This is the playoffs, and you can't afford to do that, and it's not something that she's done all season long, and now is not the time to start.
So Perov will take the face-off.
Against her former team.
Exactly. Jessica Vela for Toronto. 39 seconds to go in the power play for Toronto. Molson brings the puck up, goes cross ice to the right wing side for Suzuki. Suzuki, juking and driving through the neutral ice, will go to the right wing side now. Takes it into the corner. 25 seconds to go on the power play. She leaves it in the corner for Chevry. Chevry back down low for Terry, or excuse me, that's not Terry, that's Prévost, and Montreal comes up with it and clears it down the ice off the stick of Emmanuel Blais. 10 seconds to go in the penalty kill. Jordana Perov with a steal in the offensive zone. She'll play it back into the half wall. Blais to Perov. Perov takes the shot. Stopped by Kessler. And it almost looked like the puck was heading into the cage. But Kessler snares out the left glove and makes the stop.
You know, we talked a lot about Natalie Spooner being the person to watch out for on the Toronto Furies, but you also have to look out for the person in the blue paint, and that's Christina Kessler, and she is more than capable of stealing a game for Toronto in this series.
Poulin will take the face-off against Alyssa Baldwin. Rougeau controls for Montreal. Down low for Deschênes in the left corner. Back to Bette. Sharp angle shot hits the side of the net. To Deschênes out the far side. The shot goes off of a leg and bounces right to Spooner. Her pass up the middle intended for Fulton will roll right to Labonte in her own zone. For Les Canadiennes, places to Kim Deschênes. Far side goes cross ice for Bette. Bette streaking through neutral ice. She's got Poulin going towards the goal. She feathers it through for Poulin, but it's just out of her reach. Here's Bonello on the far side for Toronto. Ahead for Emily Fulton. Fulton for Spooner. That was broken up in neutral ice as Poulin knocked down. And on her backside, she tries to play it ahead. Baldwin with the steal. Baldwin on the right side has Zamora going towards the front of the goal, but could not get the pass across as both teams are now back at 5 aside. Here's a play down low for Baldwin. She tries to spin and fire, but she fanned on it. So Bro will play it up the near side, and then Deschênes and French will battle on the near side.
Then Marie-Philippe Poulin always looks really good in a game, but she looks her absolute best when it comes down to those big clutch moments where you need a hero. She has 2 golden goals, as well as the goal that tied the game in Sochi that allowed her to score the game winner in overtime. So maybe somebody should just tell her, this is the Clarkson Cup. You guys are tied, and the next goal wins. Maybe she'll get one by Christina Kessler.
That's still one of the most crazy finishes to a hockey game I have ever seen.
Wow, 5 minutes left in the game. They were down 2-0. It was unreal, John.
Aymar in front for Marin, and she tried to get a pass across for Ouellette, but it was broken up there by Tara French. French plays it back in deep in her own zone for Shannon Molson on the far side. Oh, and she plays it over the glass and out of play. The officials are going to consult here. The Canadiens said that went straight up and out of play. The officials consulting. I don't think it caught any of the glass, but it may have been ruled that it went off if a deflection out of play.
Well, last weekend there was a cameraman standing behind the bench when the Boston Blades were in town, took the puck right off of his cheek. Heads up, kids.
Katia Clément-Edra takes the face-off against Terry for Toronto, and Prévost comes up with it for the Furies. She gets it out to center ice, but loses a handle on it. Now here's Marin to Ouellette on the left wing side. She tips it in deep. Clément-Edra gives battle. Terry with it momentarily, but Ouellette stepped into the puck, and the puck goes over to the far wall. Prévost out to center. Ouellette intercepts, plays it back into Toronto territory as Les Canadiens go for a line change with 5:40 to go in period number 1. No score in this opening game of the best-of-3 series. Here is Terry. Sharp angle shot. Big rebound off of the pad of Labonte. And Carly Hill controls the disc for Les Canadiens. On the right side for Blais. Blais in, takes the shot. It goes wide of the mark. And the puck is up on the meshing. Les Canadiens will get it to the short side and try to poke it into the cage, but the netminder Christina Kessler is there to make the stop. Now, Robin, a couple of weeks ago we had an all-Boston weekend here in Montreal. This weekend it's Toronto-Montreal in the CWHL, and the 2 teams that are helping these 2 women's teams out from the National Hockey League are in town to do battle tomorrow night as well.
That's right. The Toronto Maple Leafs will be in town at the Bell Centre to take on the Montreal Canadiens. Both teams not really looking like they're headed to the playoffs, while their female counterparts are in a tough battle right now in the first round of the Clarkson Cup playoffs. But it's tank wars at this point for the Leafs and the Habs.
But what is awesome is the fact that those 2 teams, as well as the Calgary Flames, and now the Ottawa Senators, are involved with our league.
Yeah, with the Clarkson Cup being in Ottawa for the next 2 years at the Canadian Tire Centre. It's going to be an awesome weekend. March 13th, by the way, 4 p.m. Get your tickets, $20 to see the final in the CWHL. It's amazing.
And you can get those tickets by going to the CWHL website at cwhl.com. So the face-off coming to the right of Christina Kessler. It will be Poulin out there taking the draw for the Canadiens, and she wins it back to Rougeau. Rougeau behind the net for Kim Deschênes. Deschênes locked up there with Bonello, and Bonello will play it up the near boards. Rougeau pinching from the left point. Plays it back down into traffic in the left wing corner. Bonello, Deschênes, Poulin battling for it. Spooner also in there after it. And Poulin comes up with it. But they will wrap around! And Kessler with a stop. The rebound comes back to the point. Here's Rougeau to Julie Chu. Right side. Poulin with a shot that is kicked aside by Kessler. And the big rebound's controlled by Toronto. Chevrolet will play it out to center. Rougeau over to Julie Chu at her own blue line. 4:40 to go in the opening 20. Bette, kiss pass ahead on the right side for Deschênes. Back to Bette, into the slot. She fans on the shot as her stick got locked up there with Sina Suzuki. Poulin on the near side. At the half boards there, battling with Natalie Spooner. And now it will be Bonello to Spooner. who will skate it up the right side. Cross ice pass to the far side for Fulton. Fulton's got it, but she is separated from the puck by Aymar, and here is Willette at center for Les Canadiennes. Coming up left side for Clément Aydra. She falls down, but drops it past to Willette, a wrist shot that bounces in on goal, and Kessler kicks out the right pad and the left pad, and makes a stop with her toe.
A lot of action coming now in the dying moments of the first period, about 4 minutes left to go here. And one trend that we've noticed throughout the season with these two teams is they tend not to score very early on. It is often a gridlock after one. The first time these two teams met here at Etienne Desmarteau, scoreless after one period. So if you believe in trends in sports, then this one looks to be continuing. Both these teams playing it safe, afraid of making any mistakes early on.
Although Toronto almost scored 10 seconds into the hockey game.
They did.
And here's a shot from the left side from Fulton that Labonte stops and locks up against the post.
Charlene Labonte is a goaltender who really plays her posts really well, and I have to wonder if that comes from the time that she spent in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, where the goaltender training really enhances the level of your game. And if you're going to watch a Q game where there's a lot more offense coming at you, you got to learn how to play those posts really, really well.
Here is Katia Clément Aydra up the left side. Wilson in her own zone for Terry. Terry trying to get away from Clément Aydra. And she will leave it there for Molson. Up the far side for Fulton now. Fulton will clear it just out to center ice as Vela will backhand it down towards the Canadiens' blue line. Lowe knocks it down, delayed offside. And curling at center is Corey Chevry. At her own blue line, Gaskin has the pocket picked there as Perov on the forecheck, taken to the end boards by Bonello. Bonello will sidestep the check of Blay and bring it out to center ice, up the middle. She cuts to the right side and will dump it into the offensive zone, giving chase to Spooner as Chartrand falls. Spooner's centering attempt goes off of Carly Hill's skate back into the corner. And the Canadiens will get it to the near half boards as Perov was separated there by Baldwin. Hill reverses far side for Chartrand. Chartrand up the far boards, goes off the skate of Chevry, and now Carly Hill will skate it to center. Ahead on the right side for Poulain. Poulain has Perov going towards the goal. Gives it to Bette, shooting just wide of the net. Bette with it now in the far corner. Back to the blue line it goes for Carly Hill. Carly Hill over the left point for Chartrand. Her slap pass intercepted by Spooner. She is checked by Bette. Bette will play it back down low as she sidesteps the check of Gaskin. Poulain over to the far side. Bonello and Bette giving chase. It is Bonello playing it ahead for Chevry. She'll backhand it out to center. And Rougeau just broke up a streaking pass to Spooner. And now Poulain back in with a wrist shot that is gloved by Kessler.
And Kessler really looks to be on her game tonight, just the way she got that glove out and caught it with relative ease. She's making these saves look easy. She's calm, cool, and collected. There's been a lot of rubber coming her way. She doesn't seem frazzled by it at all. She's used to facing a lot of shots. As I said, Toronto gives up the second most shots in the CWHL this season, and she's really prepared to face a lot of pucks tonight.
Vela with it in her own zone. On the far side, bank pass off the boards, gets to the blue line. Marin kept it in momentarily, but then on the follow-up attempt, Toronto has it. Here's Prévost on the left side. Vela towards the goal. She kicks the pass over to Prévost, who is tangled up there with Rougeau, and she wanted a penalty. Here's Willette on the counterattack for the Canadiens. Gives it to Chu. Slap shot stopped by Kessler. Big rebound. Chu on the rebound will play it in on goal, and Kessler makes the stop.
Well, that scoring opportunity from Toronto was started by a bit of a gaffe by Caroline Willette, who didn't seem to know that the puck was right in front of her, and that maybe there was a bit of a miscommunication, thought a teammate was going to go for it, and she allowed two Furies to walk into the offensive zone with control of the puck.
Fans, if you want to go to the Clarkson Cup, get to the championship with your friends from Porter Airlines, who are offering a 15% discount to anybody who is looking to go to the Clarkson Cup. Check out CWHL.ca for more details to get your promo code today. So we'll face it off again to the left of Kessler. Poulain, Deschênes, and Bette up front. Chartrand and Carly Hill on the blue line. Sarah Stevenson will take the face-off for Toronto. Poulain wins it back to the line for Hill. Slap shot through traffic, knocked down in front by Baldwin. She'll skate it out to center over to the right wing side. She gives it to Natalie Spooner. Spooner to Baldwin in the slot. She'll skate it over to the far half boards. Now forced back towards the blue line by Kim Deschênes as the puck is in the skates of Deschênes, and Poulin will pick it free and play it over to the near side for Carly Hill with inside a minute to go in period number 1. No score in the hockey game. Game 1 of this best of 3 series between Toronto and Montreal, the forever rivals in hockey. As Bonneau chips it out to center, right side for Spooner. Spooner plays it in front of the goal for Chivery, but Hill will break it up and play it to the far side. Here is Terry in the far corner. Has her stick lifted by Chartrand. Chartrand clears to the near side. Suzuki pinches in. Deschênes will leave it there for Katia Clément-Edra, who will play to the far side for Carly Hill, her former McGill teammate. She'll clear it to the blue line, knocked down there by Emily Fulton, but the puck will skip out to center as Clément-Edra has it. She has Hill on the left side. She plays it to Hill in the face-off circle in front for Marin, but she couldn't get her stick down with 10 seconds to go in the period. Here's Toronto on the counter-attack now. Pass ahead for Vela, hits her in the boot of the skate. And the puck pinballs in the slot. Here's Fulton, 3 seconds to go. She fans on the shot. It's going low and blocking it there was Sophie Bro. And that's where things will end in a very high pace, entertaining opening 20 minutes of play between the Canadiennes and the Toronto Furies. So the shots in favor of Les Canadiennes. 15-5 after 20 minutes of play, and no score in this opening game of this best of 3 series. Game number 2 comes your way tomorrow afternoon at 5 o'clock. That game can be seen in Canada on Sportsnet 1, and for those of you from outside of Canada, you'll be able to see the game here on CWHL Live. And then, of course, later on tomorrow evening at 8:15 Eastern Time, it is Calgary and Brampton, game number 2. That will be an elimination game as well, heading into the second game of the semifinal round. And of course, it takes 2 wins to get to the Clarkson Cup, 3 to win the championship. And our Robin Flynn is down ice level, and we will have her first period intermission guest in just a moment's time, as Robin and Natalie Spooner move into place. And we will have Natalie Spooner with Robin Flynn in just a few moments' time here on CWHL Live. A reminder, this is game 1 of the best of 3 series. We mentioned game number 2 is tomorrow afternoon at 5 on Sportsnet 1 and on CWHL Live. And then on Sunday, if necessary, we have game number 3 at 1:30. So Robin Flynn is standing by now with Natalie Spooner. Let's go to her down in our studio. Robin?
Thanks, John. I'm here with Natalie Spooner, tied at 0 after the first period. How are you feeling about your team's performance thus far?
Pretty good. I think we had a good start and brought a lot of energy, and I think we need to bring that into the second period now. They're still getting some good chances, so I think we can still clean it up a little bit in the D zone, but I think we're doing well and just need to get more pucks to Charlie.
You guys had a couple of power play opportunities. Montreal is the best penalty kill in the league. What's it like trying to get one in when you have the man advantage?
Yeah, I mean, I think our first one went okay. I think we still can do better there, and more pucks to the net. Obviously, I think that's what's going to create the chances and getting more bodies to the net.
Christina Kessler has been making it look really easy today, some easy glove saves. How's her performance been so far this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think that she comes up big for us in a lot of games and keeps us in the games. And obviously, we haven't won as many games as we like so far, but I think she's a big part of the team. And when she's going, I think our team goes.
Thanks for doing this. Good luck in the second.
Yeah, thank you.
Back to you, John.
Thank you very much, Robin Flynn. No score, the Canadiennes and the Toronto Furies after 20 minutes of play. Shots on goal in the opening period. Favor Les Canadiennes 14-5. When we come back, we roll on with our first intermission from the Centre Étienne Desmarteaux in Montreal. This is CWHL Live.
les femmes n'ont que 5% de visibilité. Les producteurs laitiers canadiens croient que les athlètes féminines devraient être vues et entendues haut et fort. Avec Nourrir la passion du sport féminin, nous célébrons les athlètes féminines de tous les niveaux. Joignez-nous à Vive le sport féminin.
When I was 7, I wore these gloves. They held this stick. Well, these skates carried me over the blue line. We won the championship, and now it's all yours. Cool. Oh, and this mouth guard. I'll get my own. Thanks.
The 5th season is when spirit for the game gets passed down. That's why we're proud to support over 5,000 teams.
Je suis fière d'être une Canadienne. Canadienne? How do you say it?
Canadienne.
Canadienne.
Lauriane Rougeau, je suis fière de défendre les Canadiennes.
On va faire ça ensemble? Tu fais un beau sourire? OK. Je suis la gardienne des Canadiennes de Montréal.
Je suis attaquante
pour les Canadiennes.
What if I mess up?
How's my hair?
Notre famille est fière de faire partie de la famille des Canadiennes.
Je vais te laisser un micro, là.
Je m'appelle Fiona et je suis très fière que ce soit ma 6e saison comme bénévole avec les Canadiennes.
I'm Meg, je suis la directrice.
Once upon a time, I used to play for Lakeshore.
And one day, I want to play with the Canadiens.
And my daughter will become a Canadienne.
En 1966, j'ai fait partie de l'équipe féminine de hockey, les Canadiennes.
C'est la première fois qu'on voit les Canadiennes, puis j'ai vraiment aimé ça.
Je suis fière d'encourager l'équipe, les Canadiennes.
Je suis le papa fier d'une Canadienne, numéro 13, Caroline Ouellette.
Notre famille est...
Canadienne. Canadienne.
Ils disent Go Canadien, go.
Go Canadienne. Go Canadienne.
You need to take this off and this off.
But this is my microphone. This is my microphone. OK. Je suis une Canadienne de Montréal.
When I was 7, I wore these gloves. They held this stick. Well, these skates carried me over the blue line. We won the championship, and now it's all yours. Cool. Oh, and this mouth guard. I'll get my own. Thanks.
The 5th season is when spirit for the game gets passed down. That's why we're proud to support over 5,000 teams.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the program. Now the local Montreal Stars of the Canadian Women's Hockey League are now part of a whole new galaxy. The team has joined forces with the Montreal Canadiennes to leverage their brand and encourage the development of women's hockey here in Quebec. Take a look. A new agreement between the Montreal Canadiens and the Canadian Women's Hockey League is letting the Stars shine.
We're very proud of this partnership. You are an example to many of the young girls who are starting to play hockey. Our intent is to put the Montreal Canadiens marketing machine behind you to make hockey more important in Quebec, especially girls hockey and women's hockey, and to help grow the sport.
On a tous et toutes rêvé de jouer pour la Canadienne de Montréal un jour et de gagner une Coupe Stanley. Malheureusement, c'est pas arrivé encore. Par contre, on est libre. On n'a pas de contrat encore.
This agreement is meant to raise the profile of the Stars by associating with one of the most storied franchises in the world. The Stars are the 3rd team in the league to join with their NHL counterparts, following in the footsteps of Calgary and Toronto.
It's just a matter of growing the game and growing the number of players here in Quebec, 7,000 compared to about 30 in Ontario. So there's still a lot of work to do here, and that's why an association with the Habs here, I really believe in our sport and they want to be part of it.
Just the visibility. A lot of people talk about women's hockey once every 4 years. The Olympics are so big, but I wonder, do they ask where those girls are playing the rest of the years? Just having more, as I said, visibility and just that people know about us and who we are. That we walk on the street and we say, do you know who the Montreal Stars is?
The Canadiens will be offering their expertise in marketing, advertising, and helping to promote the team. The most noticeable changes will be the team's name and jersey design. There's one goal that is yet to be achieved: turning the Stars into a moneymaker for the players.
I think with a league that's still growing, we don't have any full-time members that are actually paid of each team. So everyone's a volunteer and we have an amazing staff, but it's really difficult to really get out into the communities as much as we want to.
The agreement seems especially appropriate when looking at the similarities between the two teams. The Stars are the most successful CWHL team, taking home 3 of the 8 Clarkson Cup titles, while the Canadiens are obviously famously known for their record of 24 Stanley Cups. While there are a wealth of Olympians on both teams, Montreal is making its case for being the best goaltending city in the world, currently boasting 2 Olympic gold medalists.
Yeah, it's cool. Obviously it gives some of the best female players in Canada and the world a home to play. It's really good to see them get an opportunity, and it speaks volumes of the organization here to step up and help them out.
I watch Olympics. I was pretty into it. Obviously excited when Canada won, but that's pretty much as I follow. I've got a few. I played with some girls growing up, and I check in on how they're doing. They're over in colleges and stuff like that. So you want to see them do well and hopefully eventually represent their country.
While many kids look up to Montreal's greatest players, the Stars are hoping that soon there will be room for new idols in the boys' club.
I think a huge part of getting young girls into the rink and thinking that they can actually play hockey too is to see it. When you have role models that are strong, confident women that are playing great level of hockey, you're able to have these young girls coming to the stands and see them and maybe want to emulate them. And then they'll be able to go home and say, hey, can I try this sport? And now giving them some resources to be able to do it in their local communities.
Well, they have the chance to look up to girls and having that dream to play in our NHL, which is the CWHL. I think it's a great opportunity, and if I could, I would go back as a little kid and then redo it all over again. But right now we're kind of writing history for them, and it's kind of undescribable, but it's actually amazing. I hope one day somebody's going to say, hey, I want to be like her.
CWHL Live is brought to you in part by Scotiabank, Canada's Dairy Farmers, WinSport Canada, Sportsnet, Bauer Hockey, Tim Hortons, Toyota, The Globe and Mail, Molson Coors, Bridgeforce, Porter Airlines, Gong Show Gear, OMGs, the Calgary Flames, Toronto Maple Leafs, and Montreal Canadiens. No score after 20 minutes of play here at the Centre Étienne Desmarteaux in Montreal in Game 1 of this best-of-3 CWHL semifinal series. Robin Flynn, your thoughts on the opening 20 minutes of play?
Well, I think that Toronto needs to get a little bit more offense going if they want to score a goal and get one past Charlene Labonte. She hasn't had a lot of action to face. You want to get a goalie rattled, something that Christina Kessler has not been. She faced 14 shots in the first period. She looks calm, cool, collected. That glove's coming out like it's nothing. It's going to be a difficult task for Montreal to get one past her tonight.
And of course, Toronto came out firing. The first shot of the game 10 seconds in by Natalie Spooner almost handcuffed Labonte.
Yeah, and ever since then we've seen both teams try to play it a little bit safer, not let too many chances go by. A couple power play opportunities exchanged from either side. Neither one was able to capitalize, but that's par for the course between these two teams this season. They haven't really scored much in the first period. In the 6 times that they faced each other, it was mostly in the second and the third periods where we saw the goals.
What we did see in that first period was a lot of traffic in front of the Toronto goal. And Montreal trying to move the puck to the top of the zone, 4 shots, trying to get some bounces. Do you think that that's going to continue in the second period?
Yeah, I'd like to see Montreal keeping their sticks on the ice to be able to try and tip in some rebounds when Christina Kessler isn't able to cover up the puck and smother it for the whistle. When that puck squeezes out, you want your stick on the ice. You never know what can happen. Don't have your stick up in the air when you're right on the doorstep like that.
This is game 1 of the best of 3 series. Game number 2 goes tomorrow afternoon at 5 o'clock. That game is in Brossard at the Complexe Sportif Bell. If you're still looking for tickets, there are still tickets available for the game. You can go to lescanadiennes.com or you can go to CWHL.ca to pick up your tickets. The game is on Sportsnet 1 here in Canada, so those fans who want to watch the game online, you have to watch it on television. That novel concept, that big thing that we have in our living rooms.
Wow, it's so great to see women's hockey getting some primetime TV action. It's going to be an awesome day tomorrow.
It'll be Cassie Campbell-Pascal as the analyst and John Bartlett, the voice of the Canadiens on Sportsnet, who get the call of the game. And then if necessary, we'll be back at game number 3 on Sunday afternoon here from the Centre Étienne Desmarteaux. Check the time. It's a 3 p.m. game on Sunday afternoon. And that's because we're doing double headers here on CWHL Live. Coming up tonight at 8:15, it is Eastern Time. It's game 1 of the Calgary-Brampton series. Tomorrow night, 8:15 Eastern again, game 2. And if necessary, it will be a 12:15 Eastern Time broadcast. A 2:15 Eastern Time game on Sunday, 12:15 local in Calgary. So the playoffs are here, and we're glad you're along with us for the ride here on CWHL Live. Robin, your thoughts on the Brampton-Calgary series, because that last game to decide second place went down to the wire.
Yeah, it really came down to the wire. That's a more evenly matched series between the second and third place teams. Really difficult. It could go either way, but my money is on the Brampton Thunder.
Well, it would not surprise me the way that they score, especially with the scoring from the back end. That can be a difference. But when you're out at Winsport playing on that large ice surface, that too can make a big difference as well, given that Calgary has a lot of speed. So does Brampton as well. And Brampton, of course, is the penalty-killing gurus of the CWHL when it comes to scoring shorthanded goals.
Yeah, if anybody could stifle that Calgary offense, it's definitely the Brampton Thunder. And we've seen so many impressive plays from rookie Rebecca Vint, who's up for Rookie of the Year. And we've also seen, of course, from Jamie Lee Rattray, who's just a force to be reckoned with in this league.
So Toronto will defend the goal to our right, Montreal the goal to our left here in period number 2, as we are about set to get underway with the middle stanza. Still no score in the hockey game. Any thoughts on who might get the first goal?
If it's Montreal, I'm going to say that it's Marie-Philip Poulin who gets the opening marker. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Natalie Spooner gets the goal if it's Toronto that scores first.
You're really going out on a limb on both of those, Robin.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's a little bit crazy there. Actually, you know what? The more obvious choice for Montreal would be Ann-Sophie Bété, who leads the scoring against the Toronto Furies for Montreal this season.
So the slight delay is that Sonia Vanderbleek on the bench was having some difficulty with her helmet. And one of the rules is that any of the goaltenders on the bench must wear their protective mask at all times. So that's what the delay was here to start period number 2. Chu comes over to the near side for Bété. Bété spins around Chevry and will play it in deep into the offensive zone. On the near side, the far side, Bonello plays it up the boards, and it will be cleared out to center by Baldwin. Here's Julie Chu, lifting it into the offensive zone. Chu with a goal last week. A slap shot as a clearing attempt goes off of a skate out in front of the net, and Deschênes was there but could not get her stick on the puck. Poulin in the right wing corner, centers it off of the stick of the netminder Kessler, and the puck will be cleared out to center ice. A big steal there by Bété in neutral ice as she has Poulin with her. Bété on the right wing half boards, takes it in deep towards the goal and tries to stuff it short side, and a save there by Kessler.
And we have CWHL Commissioner Brenda Andrews in the house as she just walked by the broadcast booth and gave us a friendly tap to say hello.
Always great when Brenda makes the trip down from Toronto.
Yeah, it's always so nice seeing her. It's so great to have her running this league. She's just been such an asset for the CWHL to have her at the helm. It's been great for the growth of this sport.
And some of the things that have been really great has been the expansion in communications and marketing, giving young women the opportunity to grow into positions of leadership as well.
Yeah, we've got 5 female general managers in the CWHL, something you wouldn't see in many other pro sports.
Well, fortunately, that's starting to change, like the NFL with the Buffalo Bills hiring a full-time female assistant coach, and the NBA as well. Slowly but surely, hopefully, the glass ceiling will continue to be shattered.
Yeah, I mean, anything boys can do, girls can do at least as good, if not better. So I think it's about time that women are getting the opportunities that men have been given for so long in sport.
And one thing, Robin, I want to say hi to Saskia Stewart, the CWHL communications manager, who does such a great job with her team, keeping all of us informed about what's going on in this league.
Oh yeah, the media notes that she sends out every week, handling all of our media requests, wrangling all of us whiny broadcasters. She's just a joy to work with.
We're not whiny, we're just perfectionists.
Sure.
Okay, whiny it is. Marin on the counterattack, left wing side, plays it in deep. Gaskin back for Toronto. She turns it over. Willette centering pass for Clément Aydra. She'll play it back to the blue line. Here's Karel Aymar. Left point for Chartrand. Puck skips over her stick, and she'll send it down low. Terry battling with Blais. Terry has it, gets around Willette, and she will play it over to the near wing. The puck rolls off her stick, and then she falls just in front of the Zamboni entrance as Peroff has it. Jordana Peroff into the slot. She couldn't get the shot away, and clearing it out to center is Toronto. Here is Terry on the left wing side. She has Prevost with her, and she will play it in behind the goal. Behind the net, on the far side, that was Chelsea Saunders on for her first shift of the game, and the puck will come all the way down the ice on an icing charge against the Canadiennes with 17 minutes and 37 seconds to go in period number 2. Still looking for the first goal of this hockey game.
Yeah, and we haven't really seen as many, shall we say, exciting scoring chances in the second period as we saw at the start of the first period when right away Toronto came out guns blazing. Natalie Spooner out there trying to get a goal past Charlene Labonte. We've yet to really see anything that was a little bit dangerous on Kessler or Labonte to start the second here.
By the way, great interview with Natalie in the first intermission. One of the things that we learned at the All-Star game was just how energetic that young lady is.
Oh my goodness, she absolutely loves her job. She loves being captain at the All-Star game in front of all her adoring fans in Toronto.
Here's a chance for Baldwin. Her wrist shot was blocked in front. Saunders with it back down low for her defense partner, Sophie Bro, and it will be an icing charge against Les Canadiennes. And what is really impressive about a lot of these women, but Natalie was just, especially being back in Toronto, she was over the top with her energy, and she just wanted to put on a show for the 6,000 paid fans who were at Air Canada Centre that day.
Oh, right from moment one, All-Star Weekend was a blast. Her and Julie Chu sitting together before the draft, sort of conspiring over who they were going to take first overall. It was a lot of fun to be part of.
It was a lot of fun to be in Toronto that weekend. As Toronto will ice the puck here, so 3 consecutive icings has slowed the pace of this second period down dramatically.
Well, at least Montreal isn't the one that iced it this time, so they're able to get the line change.
So let's set up the offensive unit out there for the Canadiens. It will be Deschênes, Poulain, and Bette with Rougeau and Chu on the back end. Chevry, Baldwin, and Spooner for Toronto up front. As Chu controls, gives it to Rougeau, left point. Wrist shot through traffic and hit her own player, Deschênes, in front, and Spooner will control. She'll lift it out to center ice as Chu has it. Now for Les Canadiens on the right wing side. She'll roll it into the offensive zone. Giving chases Michelle Saunders. Back to the blue line it goes for Rougeau. Rougeau give and go with Bette. Rougeau to the half wall now. Left side to Bette in front. And she could not get the shot off as cleanly as she would have liked as she got her stick tangled up with Michelle Saunders as the puck now rolls in on goal. And in neutral ice, Laurent Rougeau was clipped from behind by the linesperson who was going for the puck.
Yeah, not too often that you see player versus referee or linesman in any hockey game.
Unless, of course, you happen to be in Calgary.
Yes.
Too soon? Too soon?
Too soon, John. Shaking my head for those folks at home who can't see.
Face off to the left of Kessler. Clément Aydra and Terry taking the draw. And Toronto will control as the captain Bonello will play to the far side for Suzuki. Suzuki spinning away from the check of Noémie Marin. Back down low to the near side for Bonello. Bank pass off the boards, and it's tipped out to center. Here is Terry coming in on the left wing side. Backhand shot through traffic, and it went wide out the back door, far side. Suzuki keeps it in at the point. Puck now goes up in the air off of the stick of Vela, and the puck comes over to the near side. It is skated out to center now by Katia Clément Aydra. To Ouellette, tip pass to Marin. Marin in, wrist shot goes off of Suzuki to the far corner. Suzuki comes up with a puck. She reverses it to the far side for Vela as both Ouellette and Marin were attacking her. Here is Vela, Jessica Vela in her own zone trying to get it out. Stick checked by Ouellette, puck on the far boards. Clément Aydra will play it to Marin at the half wall. She has Ouellette in front of the goal. Good back check there by Terry to lift the stick of Clément Aydra. of Marin on the far side. And now the puck will get to the blue line and finally pop out to center as Jordana Perra falls on the puck. Caroline Ouellette picks it free ahead to Emmanuel Blais. She'll leave it there for Ouellette. Wrist shot, stop, rebound! And the puck is corralled by Toronto's Jessica Vella, and she will skate it out to center ice, gain the red line, and dump it in deep as Toronto goes for a line change. As Stevenson is on the forecheck there, she comes up with the puck at the half boards, plays it behind the net for Amar, far side. Tip out towards center, and here's Perra for the Canadiennes, 3-on-2. She's got Blais on the right side, gives it to Bocchia left wing, but Blais was just ahead of the play.
So close, and then you get an offside call like that. We saw really, just moments before that, Kelly Terry doing some excellent work on the back check. We also saw her streaking into the Canadienne zone with some excellent speed. She was playing on that first line with Natalie Spooner, but then in an effort to try and spread out their offense, head coach Summer West split her up and put her down to the second line to try and get things going in the entire top 6 for the Toronto Furies, not just their top 3.
Game 1 of a best-of-3 series. No score in the hockey game. And this is what you expect in the postseason. Tight hockey games as Bette has it. Poulin goes towards the goal. Bette with a wrist shot, blocker stuff. Big rebound, and Deschênes puts it just wide as she batted it out of midair. Natalie Spooner back out to center for the Furies. Plays it into the right wing corner. Peugeot back, seals off her player on the forecheck. That was Chevry. And now it is Deschênes. Cross ice to the right wing for Bette at center now. She'll backhand it into the offensive zone before she is knocked to the ice. Gaskin goes back to check Deschênes, who centered it, but nobody was there, and it rolls all the way back down to Levante. Ahead for Chu. Chu tries to play it ahead, goes off of Chevry. Baldwin now to Fulton. Fulton in. Wrist shot just over the crossbar. On the far side, that is Katia Clément-Aidra plays to the blue line. There are a lot of white jerseys on the ice there on that line change. But Montreal has it. Julie Chu will settle things down. Chu at center, banks it off the boards into the offensive zone. Bonella goes far side for Tara French. French up the middle, picked off there by Katia Clément-Aidra. She tries to spot Ouellette. Ouellette will catch up to the puck, sweep it towards the goal. French tips it back behind the net. On the far side, that is Emily Fulton now. Tips it ahead for Kelly Terry. Terry in, takes the wrist shot, goes off of the leg of Julie Chu over to the near side. Prévost plays it back down low, a centering pass intended for Fulton, doesn't connect. And now here's Ouellette in the foot race with French. Ouellette has it, but French with a good job to lift her stick. And now back the other way. Here's Stevenson on the breakaway. Stevenson, Chartrand back. It's a 3-on-1. Stevenson, centering pass. Chartrand blocks it and plays it over the half wall. And that will get a big round of applause from the crowd here in Montreal.
Well, it looked like there could have been a penalty on that call. I definitely wanted one from the Canadienne bench there.
Gaskin at center, skates it into her own zone, gives it to Suzuki on the near side. Up the middle, Zamora leaves it for Vella. Slap shot, stopped by Labonte, who is out of the top of the blue crease. And she will hold on for the whistle as things start to pick up as we approach the midway point of the hockey game.
Oh, as we see a little bit more offensive firepower coming from Toronto, and it's not necessarily all coming from Natalie Spooner. We're seeing Caroline Prévost and Kelly Terry generating some really good scoring chances this evening.
So face off to the right of Charlene Labonte. Stevenson will take the draw against Marie-Philippe Poulin. And Poulin wins it. Back to Imar behind her own net. Far side for Bocchia. And she will get it out to center. Emily Bocchia lifts it in left wing side as Poulin will go for a line change. Gaskin up the near side. Pinching in his Broche, who plays it to Blais. In the corner, she's knocked down, but Bocchia has it in her skates. Gives it to Blais. Blais in the right wing face-off circle, back to Bro at the point, wrist shot right into the paraphernalia of Zamora, and the puck will come to the near side. Zamora, lead pass for Vella, broken up there at neutral ice by Bro. As Chelsea Saunders on her knees plays the puck in behind the net. Katie Gaskin, she's knocked down there by Poulin. Poulin will walk out in front, centering pass, and the shot just goes wide. Bette with the rebound, and Poulin puts it just wide.
Oh, a couple of great chances there from Montreal. You gotta capitalize in a game like this, tied at 0.
Here is Poulin again on the attack on the right wing side. Cross ice pass, Deschênes to Bette, scores! 1-0 Montreal!
Oh, wow. It was so great to see Caroline Ouellette set up that play, just knew exactly where her teammate was to get that feed across. Instead of taking the shot, she sends it across, open net. Christina Kessler just can't get across in time. 1-0 Montreal.
So the Canadiens take the lead at the 8:02 mark of period number 2.
Great to see them do that just moments after they missed what could have been a huge scoring opportunity for them. They weren't able to capitalize on it. That's huge.
And Ann-Sophie picks up her 12th point of the campaign against the Toronto Furies. Here's Baldwin at center. Leaves it for Chevry. Chevry on the left wing side. Chevry backhand pass in front, knocked down by Chu. And now here is Katia Clément-Edra. Left wing side. She's got Deschamps Chu. She gives it to Chu. Chu to the left wing corner. Drop pass for Marin. Intercepted there by Spooner. And coming back the other way on a one-on-one situation is Natalie Spooner. Spooner in. Wrist shot just over the crossbar as she had Labonte going down on the shot. Now Montreal back out to center. French in her own zone. Plays it up the middle. There for Alyssa Baldwin. She'll play it over to Chevry on the left wing side. Spooner goes towards the goal. Chevry sends it in deep off of the end glass. Spooner behind the net, battling for the puck with Rougeau. Spooner has it. Spooner loses it though to Katia Clément-Edra. And Ouellette will play it towards the blue line. Spooner again with it. She'll wrist towards the goal. Labonte will settle it down.
Natalie Spooner has one of the toughest wrist shots in the CWHL, no doubt. Probably harder than a lot of the slap shots in the league.
1-0 the Canadiens on a goal by Anne-Sophie Bette from Kim Deschamps and Marie-Philippe Poulin at 8:02 of the second period in this opening game of the best of 3 series. Curling in front of her own goal, Jordana Peroff up the right wing side for Noémie Marin. She was stick checked at the Toronto blue line by Molson. Terry has it in her own zone, curling to the right wing side. She gets it around Bacchia, but Bacchia puts her stick down, separates her from the disc, and Bacchia plays it ahead for Peroff on the left wing side. Peroff to Bacchia in the slot, and a good back check there by Caroline Prévost to break up the play. Prévost up the right wing side for Fulton. Fulton, one player back, that's Hill. Fulton in, tries to cut in front of the goal, and a good job there on the back check by Emmanuel Blais to seal her off. And Cathy Chartrand has it now for the Canadiens. Up the right wing side for Blais. Blais chips it around Molson, and Molson's going to get a penalty here, as it's an interference call at 10 minutes and 4 seconds of the second period.
Well, Montreal hasn't been able to score on the power play yet in this game or in the playoffs, as this is the first game of the playoffs, and it would be really great if they could pull ahead by 1 goal here. Not so much if you're a Toronto Furies fan, though, if you were to find yourself down by 2 past the halfway mark.
3-2 are the shots on goal in the second period. Game total 17-7 in favor of the Canadiens, who are 0 for 2 on the power play in this hockey game. Poulin, Bette, and Chu up front. On the back end, it is Ouellette and Rougeau. Spooner on the penalty kill for Toronto as Poulin comes up with it. Chu tries to play it to Poulin after she lost the puck, and now Spooner will rim it around the boards. Kept in by Loyan Rougeau at the left wing half boards. Gives it to Julie Chu. Chu battling in the corner there with Suzuki. Back to the blue line it goes to Ouellette. Right side for Poulin. Poulin down low in the corner for Bette. Back to the blue line for Poulin. Poulin top of the arc. Through traffic, takes a shot. Hits Chu in the upper body as Rougeau pinches in. Plays it behind the goal for Bette. Bette back to the blue line. Here's Poulin. Her shot and scores! Caroline Ouellette! 2-0 on the power play!
That's what I was talking about earlier, John, when you want to have your stick on the ice ready to tip in anything that's coming through traffic. Marie-Philippe Poulin takes the shot from the high slot, and they're waiting for it as Caroline Ouellette to tip it in behind Christina Kessler. 2-0, and Montreal capitalizes on the power play.
11:43, the time of the power play goal. And the Canadiens have a 2-0 lead in this hockey game, as Caroline Ouellette will pick up her first goal of the postseason, with a helper going to Marie-Philippe Poulin.
And Caroline Ouellette had 2 goals and 5 assists against Toronto this season. Definitely a team that she's capable of scoring against, as she had more than a point a game against them.
Poulin will face it off against Baldwin, and Montreal will control. Up the right wing side, here is Bette. Bette leaves it there for Poulin. Poulin at the half boards. Poulin into the corner, being bothered there by Shannon Molson. Bette up with it, back to Hill at the right point. Carly Hill will roll it down low for Poulin. She's taken into the wall by Molson. And Baldwin comes up with it, clears to the blue line. Hill plays behind the net as French has it. Up the middle it goes. Baldwin couldn't control. And Bette has it in the offensive zone for the Canadiens. Gives it down low for Kim Deschênes. Deschênes back to the point. Here's Chartrand. Slap shot, and Kessler saw it at the last moment and gloves it to keep this game 2-0 for the Canadiens.
Good to see Kessler keeping calm. She doesn't look shaken or rattled after giving up 2 pretty quick goals. She has to stay calm. She has to allow her team the chance to get back into this hockey game. She's already faced a lot of pucks in this one. Just keep it cool, calm, and collected, and let them do their thing.
2 goals in 3 minutes and 41 seconds is the difference so far in the hockey game. As the Canadiens lead 2-0 with 3:20 to go in the middle stanza. Here's a chance for Bocchi as she goes high just over the crossbar, and the Canadiens are trying to go high on Kessler in this hockey game, missing a couple of chances just over the crossbar.
Yeah, it looks like the book is out on Christina Kessler.
Here is Terry in her own zone, curling between the rings, going left to right, and now skating north-south. Ahead for Fulton. She'll tip it into the offensive zone, gives chase, as Bro and her go to the end boards. Sherrard goes to the wall as well with Vela. Vela spins her around as the two of them are locked up. Molson at the left point, plays it down low for Vela. Vela tries to play it around Bro. She does. Here's Fulton, tries to center. It is picked off by Aymar, and back the other way comes Peroff. Peroff ahead at center for Alyssa Sherrard. Sherrard will just roll it in deep as the Canadiens go for a line change. Chu battling with Chevry. Chevry falls to the ice, and Spooner took a pass from Molson, but it rolls off her stick deep into Montreal territory. As back to play it for the Canadiens is Caroline Ouellette. She scored on the power play just moments ago to make it 2-0. Spooner ahead for Baldwin, just out of her reach, and Rougeau back in her own zone with 7:10 to go in the period. Has it. Rougeau up the middle she goes. Pass ahead for Clément Edra. Marin on the right side to Ouellette, left side. Her shot stopped by Kessler, and she goes down to the butterfly. And Caroline Ouellette may have liked to have had that back, because after she took the shot, she looked up to the rafters.
Yeah, definitely somebody who isn't used to not succeeding. She's had so much success at every level that she's played at. I mean, for goodness sake, the rink is named after her. Glace Caroline Ouellette inside Etienne Desmarteaux Arena. She's somebody who, when we talk about somebody who is clutch and is great in those big moments, like Marie-Philip Poulin, Caroline Ouellette is another one. She was captain of the women's hockey team that won gold in Sochi.
Here is Bette in the left corner, battling with Suzuki. Gives it to Deschênes behind, let it back to Bette. She sidesteps the check of Suzuki, goes to the line for Chartrand. Chartrand down low for Poulin. She's got Bette in the slot. Puck comes back to Hill. Slap shot! And Kessler with the glove stop to hold on. An interesting thing that happened yesterday, and we were talking about this in the intermission. Julie Chu is the acting coach for the Concordia Stingers of the RSEQ conference in university sport. Tomorrow afternoon, the Stingers will be facing off against the Montreal Carabins in an elimination game. They lost 3-2 in double overtime last night. They'll be at home for game number 2 here in Montreal. Immediately following that game, Julie Chu is going to get in a car. She will be dressing on her way to Brossard because the games are very tight. A 2:30 start at Concordia and a 5 o'clock game out in Brossard, hoping there's no overtime. So we'll have to see whether or not Julie can make it to the game on time tomorrow without getting any type of speeding tickets.
Yeah, maybe one of her teammates can have a problem, an equipment malfunction to delay the start of the game.
As the puck rolls in on Charlene Labonte, and she will hold on. Oh, come on. Caroline Ouellette's got to know some people, some police officers who might be able to help get an escort.
Well, you know what we need to do? We need to start a Twitter campaign. Just tweet at Denis Kader and
right.
see if our mayor can get an escort to get Julie Chu from the game that she's coaching to Brossard.
That's right.
Who knows? The Champlain Bridge?
It's not that bad.
Let's just hope they're not doing any road work on the Champlain this weekend.
Summer West discussing things with the referee down at ice level. Some are not happy with the fact that a late change was not accorded to her team, as Michelle Saunders stays on the ice. And now, being thrown out of the face-off circle is Jess Vela. Fulton will come in to take it. Prévost and Vela exchange sides, and off the face-off, Toronto controls. Here's Michelle Saunders, wrist shot, knocked down in front. Carly Hill with it, comes over to the near side for Noémie Marin. Ahead for Ouellette to Carly Hill. Hill in on the right wing side, streaking towards the goal. Tries to make a centering pass, and a great play by Michelle Saunders going down low to block the cross-ice pass. Here is Prévost behind her own goal. Up the far side, Ouellette intercepts a clearing attempt. Katia Clément-Edra has it. She's got Marin in front, gives it to Ouellette. No, it goes right past her, back to Chartrand, who was not expecting the pass, and the puck rolls all the way back down into Canadienne territory with 5:50 to go in period number 2. Stretch pass up the middle. Right side now, Poulin. She's got Marin with her. Poulin into the slot, gives it to Ouellette, but the pass was in her skates, and the puck lays loose in the slot. Toronto will control. Here is Kelly Terry on the right wing side. She's got Baldwin going towards the goal. Centering pass. Comes over to the near side. Fulton spinning, firing, and going down low and blocking it was Labonte, and she will hold on for the whistle.
Well, we just saw Carly Hill getting a chance in alone on Christina Kessler, and it's not too often that you see Carly Hill skating up ahead of the play. She's definitely what we call a stay-at-home defenseman. She tends to hang back and man the blue line, and she was held pointless against Toronto this season.
But another player who was a converted forward to the blue line when she was playing at McGill, she played half of her career as a forward before she became a blue liner. So very much like Julie Chu has that natural instinct as Bette brings it into the offensive zone. Drop pass for Deschênes, picked off there by Baldwin. Lead pass for Terry on the right wing side. Terry goes wide, takes the shot blocker, stopped by Labonte as the puck comes over to the near side. Baldwin goes to the board. Suzuki with a slap shot from the point, blocked by Poulin. Puck lays loose in the slot, and it is now cleared out to center ice by Rougeau. 2-on-1 for the Canadiennes. On the right wing side, here's Poulin. She's got Bette with her. Poulin across to Bette, but the pass got underneath Suzuki, but she was in too deep to corral the disc. Now it's Natalie Spooner for Toronto. Starting the rush up on the left wing side. Here is Natalie Spooner into the offensive zone, going wide. Spooner, backhand shot, stopped by Labonte. Rebound is cleared down the ice, but it's not going to go far enough for an icing charge against Les Canadiennes. French back to play it with 4:40 to go in the second period. 2-0 Les Canadiennes. Over to Shannon Molson, who tips it ahead at center for Jessica Vella. Vella, she is strong armed by Marin, no penalty on the play as the pass comes back to Molson. Slap shot through traffic, tipped in front by Fulton, and it goes wide. Here is Ouellette clearing it ahead off of the stick of Clément-Edra, but Toronto has it. French comes up the middle for Chevry. Chevry on the forecheck there as the Canadiennes control. Caroline Ouellette at center, left wing side. She'll take it herself. Behind the net she goes, comes out in front, shoots and scores! That's incredible patience by Caroline Ouellette, who goes top shelf to make it 3-0.
Oh, what a beautiful play by Caroline Ouellette to streaking in on the left wing side, skate around the net. She waited, she was patient, found the spot that she had picked, fired the puck, top corner, beats Kessler. 3-0 hockey game with 4 minutes left to play in the second.
That's a huge goal as Caro came in on the left side, as you said, Robin, and she just waited, and came out in front. No Toronto defender came to seal her off, and you do not want to let Caroline Ouellette walk out uncontested like that.
Yeah, Caroline Ouellette is definitely somebody you don't want to leave alone with some space in front of your goal crease.
And when Kessler went down, she just outweighted the netminder and then roofed it just inside the goal post. And it's 3-0 for Les Canadiennes. Here is Jordana Peroff against her former team. Takes a shot, goes off of Bonello over to the far side. Behind the net, Peroff rolls it over to the near side for Carly Hill. Leaves it there for Bacchia. Bacchia back to Hill. She'll come into the right wing half boards. Now slams the brakes on, goes back to the point, exchanges place with Bacchia. Tries to give her the pass, but it's broken up there. And Stevenson will play it out to center. Hill in her own zone. Ahead for Blais. Now it's Bacchia. Bacchia bodied there by Bonello, but Blais has it. Blais on the right wing side. She can't get the shot away. Here's Peroff centering past Julie Chu. Chu to Blais, but she is locked up in front of the net by Suzuki. And Les Canadiennes will have it at neutral ice. Rougeau right side for Julie Chu. Sidesteps a check, goes left wing side for Bette. Spinning, firing, and a nice stop by Kessler at the top of the crease.
After the second period, I'll be chatting at ice level with Caroline Ouellette, who's responsible for a lot of the Canadienne offense this evening.
And you might be able to ask the question, what did she see when she came out? Because it wasn't until she took the shot that we actually saw what she saw from our angle up here.
Oh yeah, she barely had a tiny little spot. She picked that corner and she waited for it.
So 3-0 Les Canadiennes with 2:45 to go in the second period. In this opening game of the best of three semifinal in the CWHL Game 2 tomorrow afternoon at 5 o'clock on Sportsnet 1. And for those of you outside of Canada, on CWHLlive.com. And coming up in a half hour's time, Game 1, Calgary and Brampton here on CWHL Live. As Poulain has the puck and loses it. Now Baldwin will play it. Over to the far side, here is Terry. Terry off of a stick, and Rougeau now will play it out to center for Les Canadiennes. Here is French off of the near boards. Julie Chu up the far side. Chevry pinches in, keeps the puck alive as Rougeau and her go to the end wall. Rougeau has it. 1:45 to go in the period. Ahead for Poulain. She'll now lift it ahead to Deschamps, who dumps it in left wing side as Les Canadiens go for a line change. Clément Edra giving chase as Bonello has it, head full of steam, up the left wing side, cuts up the middle, now goes to the right wing side into the offensive zone. Bonello tries to take a shot, it goes off of Bro, and back to play it is Noémie Marin. Marin's clearing attempt, hits the glass, and Bro has it. Over to the near side, here's Aymar, up to Caroline Ouellette. She'll tip it out to center, and down the ice it goes. It is going to go just far enough for an icing charge against Les Canadiennes with 1:16 to go in the second period. Let's take a look at the scoring summary. Ann-Sophie Bate from Kim Deschamps and Marie-Philippe Poulain at 8:02. Then 3 minutes and 41 seconds later at 11:43, it was Ouellette, her first of the postseason on the power play from Anso and Marie-Philippe Poulain. And then Caro gets her second of the game at the 16-minute mark, and that's where we stand here late in period number 2. Ouellette lifts the puck out to center. Molson playing it at her own blue line, backhands it to Spooner. Spooner loses it in a battle with Clément Edra as we are under a minute to go in the second period. Here is Shannon Molson. Up the near side, just out of the reach of Vella, and that will be an ice. No, they're going to wave off the icing at the last moment. So here's Baldwin in the offensive zone for Toronto. Aymar will come up with a disc, ahead for Bette. Bette knocked down at center. Here comes a penalty to Toronto as Ouellette is in, looking for the hat trick. Backhand shot kick to the side of the far corner, excuse me. Here is Chatrand, down low Poulain with the extra attacker on. Bette shoots, and Kessler will snare it with their glove with 24.9 seconds to go in the second period. And the Canadiens go to their fourth power play of the game. They are 1 for 3, scoring earlier this period. Caroline Ouellette getting the goal. And the holding penalty coming up here to Toronto's captain, Michelle Bonello. Poulain, Bette, and Chu up front. Ouellette and Rougeau on the back end. And Shannon Molson wins the face-off, clears it to the blue line, but it's kept in momentarily by Les Canadiens as Molson on a follow-up attempt will clear it out to center. Poulain in front of the penalty bench area, knocked down. She tried to advance it, and back the other way. Here's Kelly Terry with 5 seconds to go in the second period. Bette with it. She won't get a shot off as she tries to play it ahead to Caroline Ouellette on the left wing side. And that brings an end to period number 2 with Les Canadiens leading by a score of 3-0 on goals by Bette at 8:02, and then back-to-back goals by Caroline Ouellette on the power play at 11:43, and even strength at 16 minutes of the second period. Les Canadiens, when scoring first this season, have a very impressive mark. They are 17-0 when bulging the twine the first time. Toronto 0-12-2 when giving up the first goal of the hockey game this season. And they are in a deep hole after 40 minutes of play, down 3-0 in this hockey game. And during our intermission, we will give you a full rundown of the scoring summary in this game, as you see Caroline Ouellette on your screen right now, speaking with Julie Chu, as the two of them chat along the glass. And Robin Flynn will be down in the studio with Caro in just a few moments' time. As we mentioned, this is game 1 of the best of 3 series. Game 2 goes tomorrow afternoon, 5 o'clock on Sportsnet 1 and CWHLlive.com for those of you outside of Canada. And Game 3, if necessary, 3 o'clock Eastern Time on Sunday. And coming up in 25 minutes' time, it is game number 1 between Brampton and Calgary, also here on CWHL Live. So we invite you to be able to stay on board for this game, the conclusion of this game, and then immediately go and join our friends out in Calgary for the call of the Calgary-Brampton game, game number 1. So Robin Flynn is standing by downstairs with her guest Caroline Willett. Let's send it down to Robin in the studio. Robin?
Thanks, John. I'm here with Caroline Willett. What did you see on that third goal? Such patience.
Oh, thank you. Actually, I've been working on that. Usually I try to stuff it, and with our skill coach, Sébastien Baldereau, just trying to, keep it just a little bit more, give myself some space. But, Noémie Marin-Catiera went to the net and created so much space for me. We know she's a great goalie. Christina Kessler, she was the best player at the All-Star game, and often she's our team's best player. So, we're trying to shoot high on her, and we know she's most of the time going to make the first save. So, but I had time because of my teammates, so it was a good feeling.
What was the mood like in the locker room after the first period, tied at 0? Were you expecting to get out to an early lead in this one?
It wasn't the start we were hoping for. I think we were a bit tentative. We were a bit on our heels. I give them credit. They put pressure right away. Spooner had a great shot off the opening face-off, and it kind of, put us on our heels. But, I think we're back playing our game and creating chances in the offensive zone using our speed. And right now, I'm proud of all of the 3 lines and our 4th line that plays from time to time. We're contributing. We're playing good defensively. And when needed, Charlie's making the big saves.
Well, tomorrow Julie's going to be coaching a game in the afternoon, and then she has to get to Brossard. Is there any conversation about maybe a police escort to get her to the rink?
The escort is called Watch Who. Her dad is in town, actually. It's great to see her parents being here this weekend. They're outstanding supporters of our team, and they're going to drive her as fast as possible. Obviously, she's one of our best defense every game. She's the heart and soul of our team. She's such a great leader that when she's there, everyone is more calm and composed. So we certainly need her, and we wish her all the best with our team. She lost yesterday, but it was a great game, and I think they're going to be ready to go as well tomorrow.
Thanks, Carol. Good luck in the third.
Thank you. Merci.
Back to you, John.
Thank you very much, Robin Flynn, and I echo Caro's wishes. Hopefully that Concordia will be able to pull out the victory tomorrow afternoon in game number 2 for Julie Chu before she comes out to play for the Canadiennes tomorrow night in Brossard. That game at 5 o'clock on Sportsnet 1. It is 3-0, Les Canadiennes de Montréal leading the Toronto Fury here after 40 minutes of play. And in a moment's time, Robin will be back in the studio with Brenda Andrus, the commissioner of the CWHL, as Brenda is in the building this evening. So we will have an extended intermission interviews downstairs. Also looking in the building tonight, Shauna Denis, the former great McGill Martlet in the house. She also, of course, works for the Montreal Canadiens in the front office for Canadienne.tv. So, good to see Shauna in the house, a good friend of the CWHL as well. And as we mentioned, just waiting for Brenda and Robin to get set up in the studio. Shots on goal in period number 2. Favor Les Canadiennes 9-5. As Les Canadiennes out shooting Toronto by a score of 23-10 after 40 minutes of play. So Brenda Andrus is downstairs, standing by with Robin Flynn.
I'm here with CWHL Commissioner Brenda Andrus. Game 1, Toronto, Montreal. What a great atmosphere. It's so great you made the trip.
Well, it wouldn't be any other place. We have staff that's gone out to Calgary versus Brampton, and then I've come here to Montreal versus Toronto. We're really proud that we've come down to where we are right now in the playoffs, and anybody here can see it was great hockey. Spooner sure turned out today on that first period. She was just a flying. Kessler kept them out. But then, you put that one line with Poulin and Olette together, and that's pretty phenomenal.
It's really awesome also to see that teams are able to have home ice advantage now. So the regular season, you saw a lot more battles down the stretch, especially between Brampton and Calgary, because home ice means so much in the first round.
Yeah, it's something new this year with our format that we wanted to get those playing all season long. Opportunity to really won a place, whether first and second, and that meant home ice advantage for the playoffs. And as you can see, it also gave opportunities for fans who have supported the teams in their local communities an opportunity to come and see them in the playoffs. So we think this is a great format moving forward, and certainly here tonight in Montreal, the fans have turned out to support their team.
It's also awesome to see a female behind the bench in the Toronto Furies. It's always awesome to see a female behind the bench in Lisa Marie Bertrand-Lebreu for the Canadiennes. Is there any work that CWHL is making strides towards having more female coaches, not just players on the ice, but coaches as well?
That's a great question, and the CWHL has always stood for creating opportunities for women, whether it's behind the bench or behind the board table or behind the office doors. And I think, we definitely want to see more females on the bench. But we can't forget the wonderful guys that work in our league and have, you look at Danny from Montreal, who's so open to training our young females, and some are being, on the Toronto bench, and it's just opportunities for us women. And I think, we're so lucky to have great coaches in our league, and they all stand for what we stand for, is creating the game about speed, skill, and finesse. And it's very, progressive to start to see more females behind the bench, and that's just what we want to promote.
Are you pleased with how everything went this season in the CWHL? We saw a lot of parity, I think for maybe the first time where the teams were really battling down the stretch.
Yeah, I'm so pleased with this season. The Montreal Canadiens have come on board, and now the Ottawa Senators have come on board. The All-Star game, the Clarkson Cup, is going to be played at an NHL rink. Our fans have increased just unbelievably at every single game. Our players, every year I say they can't get any better, and then you watch a game and you're on the edge of your seat as it goes end to end. So yeah, I'm really pleased with this season. I think more importantly, I'm really pleased with our players. I take a look at some of the community events that they've done recently, and the Spark was out in Calgary. There was a video made with the engagement that was done in participation with the schools, the breast cancer games done here, the You Can Play game done that was in Toronto. As proud as I am as our players on the ice, I'm just as proud as our players off the ice in the community, and it's really what the CW is about.
Thanks so much for your time, Brenda.
You're more than welcome.
Back to you, John.
Thank you very much, Robin Flynn. 3-0 Les Canadiennes leading after 40 minutes of play. Let's take a look at the scoring summary in tonight's game. And we begin at the 8:02 mark of period number 2. Ann-Sophie scoring her first of the postseason from Kim Deschênes and Marie-Philippe Poulin, making it 1-0. Then 3:41 later at 11:43. It was Caroline Ouellette with her first of the postseason on the power play from Poulin and Bette, and that made it 2-0 for Les Canadiennes. Caro scoring at the 16-minute mark, her second of the game, from Karel Aymar and Noémie Marin. That makes it 3-0, and that's where we stand after 40 minutes of play. Shots on goal in the first period favored Les Canadiennes 14-5, and in the second period 10-5 for a game total of 24-10. So that's where we stand after 40 minutes of play. We're going to take a quick timeout and come back in a few minutes' time with our third period. It is 3-0 Les Canadiennes leading the Toronto Furies in Game 1 of the best of 3 CWHL semifinal series, and it's right here on CWHL Live.
« 100% énergie. 100% passion. 100% effort. Pourtant, les femmes n'ont que 5% de visibilité. Les producteurs laitiers canadiens croient que les athlètes féminines devraient être vues et entendues haut et fort. Avec Nourrir la passion du sport féminin, nous célébrons les athlètes féminines de tous les niveaux. Joignez-nous à Vive le sport féminin. 100% énergie.
Kimmy, you do know that there's only 4 seasons, right?
Then how do you explain the way kids wish away the summer because we can't wait to play in the fall? Or how teammates often become best mates? Or how families happily vacation in Winnipeg in January because that's where the tournament is? So you see, Miss Woods, there is a 5th season, and it's the best season in Canada.
So you're talking about hockey.
Oh, it's more than just talking, Miss Woods.
Scotiabank is proud to support over 5,000 teams in Canada's 5th season.
Moi, j'aimerais bien ça devenir une Canadienne.
Je suis la capitaine des Canadiennes.
Je suis fier d'entraîner les Canadiennes de Montréal.
Je suis la voix des Canadiennes.
We're proud to be volunteers pour les Canadiennes.
Faut que je me mette de côté comme ça. Une petite fesse par là.
When I'm older, I would love to be part of les Canadiennes.
Moi aussi. Moi aussi.
I'm proud to be
La Canadienne.
J'ai aidé à fonder les Canadiennes.
C'est grâce aux Canadiennes de Montréal que ma fille joue au hockey aujourd'hui.
We are the best fans of the Canadian girls. We're right there for them.
And yes, we are the 3-generation fans.
J'ai toujours rêvé d'être une Canadienne. Je suis fière d'être une Canadienne. Je suis fière d'être impliquée avec la famille des Canadiennes.
I'm Meg. I'm the general manager of les Canadiennes de Montréal.
Moi, je veux dire, je suis une Canadienne. Toi, tu vas dire, moi, je vais être meilleure que Noémie.
Je suis une Canadienne de Montréal. I'm proud to be a Canadian.
Moi, je ferais n'importe quoi pour les Canadiennes.
Hello, guys. You can't leave your
Your speaker.
There you go.
On est fiers de notre Canadienne!
On adore les Canadiens.
Je suis une Canadienne.
Je
Non, non, je niaisais.
Je suis fière d'être une Canadienne. Vous êtes prêts? Oui. Vous êtes prêts?
Oui.
OK. Go Canadienne, go!
Three 3-0, the Canadiennes leading the Toronto Fury after 40 minutes of play here at the Centre Étienne Desmarteaux in game number 1 of their best of 3 CWHL semifinal series. As we mentioned, game number 2 tomorrow afternoon at 5 o'clock Eastern time. That game is on Sportsnet 1. And our good friend John Bartlett will be doing the play-by-play with Cassie Campbell-Pascal. So a great broadcast crew there. And then the A-team comes back on Sunday afternoon if necessary.
Oh, is that what we are? We're the A-team? So I'm one ahead of Cassie Campbell? I will take that.
Yeah, I'm not sure Bart's would be too happy with that, but...
Well, John Bartlett is here this evening, so he can't hear us right now.
That's a good point. That's a good point. John's a great broadcaster, you know. I first met John when we were both broadcasting in the OHL. He was broadcasting for the Barrie Colts at the time, doing TV, before moving to the Toronto Marlies and that. And, you know, we're very lucky here in Montreal. The play-by-play people for the Canadiennes in English and in French are very... They live up to the names of the past, Danny Gallivan and Dick Irvin. You know, when you have... you know, somebody like John Bartlett over on Sportsnet doing the games, and of course Dan Robertson, a very good friend of ours. You work with him. I've known Danny for years. He was my AUS correspondent for a CIS football show we used to host together. You know, he's a great play-by-play guy. Very much, and it's really interesting because in Montreal, like in Toronto, very few people have done play-by-play over the years, and maybe one of these days, Robin, you're going to be in that booth as well.
I'm knocking on the door someday. Hopefully I will get it all the way up to the NHL and I'll call a game with the big leagues, but I love doing the CWHL. This is like a dream come true, John, working with you every weekend.
Well, it's a lot of fun, and we've had a great run this season, and this could very well be our last broadcast of the year, unfortunately for us, because Sportsnet will have the game tomorrow, and if we don't have a third game, then the Clarkson Cup is also on Sportsnet, but we'll be at the Clarkson Cup doing all kinds of different things for various different forums and that. So, you know, Robin, Flynn, it's been great working with you all season long, and I'd love to say let's do it again on Sunday, but at the same time, you know...
Well, it depends. If Toronto were to win today, let's do this again on Sunday.
Exactly.
If Montreal wins today, I'll see you in Ottawa, John.
And we're hoping to see everybody there as well. As we were mentioning, getting to the Clarkson Cup has never been easier, as Porter Airlines is now offering a 15% discount on available base fares, with the exception of the lowest class fare during a public seat sale, for travel to and from the CWHL Clarkson Cup. Discounted fares are available for booking from February 8th until March 16th, and are for travel from between March 8th through to the 13th from anywhere in Canada or the United States to Ottawa. So please go online to flyporter.com and use the promo code Clark, or go through your travel agents using the promo code Clark. That's Porter Airlines, the official airline of the CWHL.
It's going to be so fun seeing these girls play at the Canadian Tire Centre. It was fun seeing them play the All-Star game at the Air Canada Centre in Toronto. Love when they get the chance to play on that big, big stage.
But you're really high up in that place in Ottawa. A lot higher than in Toronto. Actually, you know what? The Bell Centre is probably a good comparison, though.
Okay. I'm not afraid of heights. I can handle it.
Here's Betty in on the right wing side, going towards the goal. The rebound is Chu's there for the taking, and she tips it in on Kessler. And just like that, 11 seconds into the third period, the Canadiennes with two quality scoring chances.
It looks like we don't have to worry about whether or not Julie Chu is going to need a police escort to get to the game tomorrow, as Carolyn Willett informed us just after the second period that her parents are in town. They're going to drive her from the game which she's coaching for the Concordia Stingers tomorrow all the way to Brossard and get her there as fast as they can.
Willett gives it to Rougeau. Still on the power play, the Canadiennes, for another minute 10 here in period number 3. Poulain dishes right side for Bette. Cross crease pass for Rougeau just out of her reach. And the puck is clear to the blue line, kept in by Poulain. Tip pass back to Willett from Rougeau, gives it to Poulain through traffic. It is knocked aside by Suzuki. Willett with a pair of goals, including the power play marker in the second period, is out there on the ice looking for number 3. Poulain to Rougeau, into the slot. Chu, wrist shot! Hit by Bette in front of the goal. The rebound is controlled by Poulain. 45 seconds to go on the power play. Willett back to the blue line. Chu fakes a slap shot, gives it to Willett. Willett to Chu, back to Willett. Top of the umbrella. She'll now dish off right side for Poulain. Poulain shoots it wide. And the puck hits the end boards, comes all the way over to the near point, kept in by Willett. Caro will play it down low for Rougeau, but it's broken up there by Toronto. And it's cleared down the ice as Shannon Molson gets it to Spooner. Spooner was checked there by back-checking Marie-Philippe Poulain, and Willett will play it into Levante. Chu now behind her own net. 15 seconds to go on the power play. To Poulain. Ahead at center on the right wing side. She has Marin going towards the goal. She tries to flip it through, but a good job there on the back check by the Toronto blue liner, Tara French, to lock her up. Here is Deschênes. Back to the blue line it goes, as Toronto's penalty has expired. Chartrand on the left wing side will roll it in around to the far corner. Deschênes in there after it. Gaskin takes her to the end boards. Baldwin in there as well, but it'll be Katia Clément-Aydra up with the puck. Clément-Aydra near side, back to the blue line it goes for Chartrand. Cross ice pass for Carly Hill. It goes off a body, off of the end window, as it's settled down there by Katia Clément-Aydra. Cross ice pass to Chartrand. She'll keep it in at the blue line. Wrist shot through traffic, knocked down by Baldwin. Baldwin, bank pass off the near boards. Just out of the reach of Vela. No icing as Chartrand took a stab at it. Here's Vela behind the net. Walks out in front, centering pass! Prévost couldn't get the shot away as the puck went off the tip of her stick. And Kim Deschênes will lift the puck out to center ice. Approaching the 2:30 mark of period number 3. 3-0 for Les Canadiennes in game 1 of this best of 3 set. Bro tips it to Peroff, who will curl and bring it out to center. Has Bocchi on the left wing side. Does not connect with her as Terry has it. Almost checked between the rings in her own zone by Peroff, and Kelly Terry brings it away at center. Into the offensive zone, low wrist shot kicked aside by Charlie Levante, and the puck goes up and into Les Canadiennes' bench.
It's always such a fun opportunity when you get to see Natalie Spooner and Marie-Philippe Poulain play against each other. I think that they bring out the best in each other, and I had asked Natalie Spooner that when I spoke to her a couple of weeks ago. You know, you get to play with Marie-Philippe Poulain when you're playing nationally, and you guys play together for Team Canada. What's it like playing against her? And she said, you know, obviously she's somebody who you'd rather have on your team than to be playing against, but that she thinks Marie-Philippe Poulain makes her a better hockey player by playing against her.
Off the face-off, here's Caro Willett with it. Goes across the face of the goal to Aymar. who picked up an assist on the second Ouellette goal, along with Marin, as Ouellette will play it over to Katia Clément-Aydra. Toronto clears the center as Kelly Terry has it. She'll bring it into the offensive zone, backhand it into the corner. Labonte leaves it there for Aymar. Aymar over to the near side. Katia Clément-Aydra ahead for Ouellette. Ouellette on the left wing side. Kicks the puck up with her skate to her stick and gains center and plays it into the offensive zone as Marin and Fulton collide in neutral ice. Here's a steal. Poulin in. Poulin shoots and scores! 4-0 for Les Canadiennes.
Marie-Philippe Poulin just makes that look way too easy. She gets control of the puck. She skates in. It's a 1-on-4. She's got a whole bunch of jerseys there in front of her. She finds her spot, takes the shot, gets it past Kessler, and it's 4-0 Montreal with 16:20 left to play in the third.
3:40 the time of the goal. That is Poulin's third point of the game, 1 goal and 2 assists. And Les Canadiennes take a 4-0 lead here early in period number 3. Spooner up the left side, stick checked by Chu. Kim Deschênes had it on her stick for a moment, but it was knocked aside there by Shannon Molson as Toronto brings the puck in offside.
It's always so funny to see how humble Marie-Philippe Poulin is when she scores a goal. You know, she's got this gee, golly gosh, ah shucks, did I do that attitude anytime she does something incredible, which is something she does more often than not.
Off the face-off, Chelsea Saunders wins it. Back to Carly Hill, up the middle. Stevenson almost stole, but Bacchia, who was falling, clears it out to center ice. Molson in her own zone leaves it for Bonello, and a steal there by Sherrard. She'll send it towards the goal. Alyssa Sherrard does, but Toronto will clear it out to center. Carrata with a steal just inside the blue line. She is forced back out to center by Saunders, as Vela will backhand it into Montreal territory. Hill, across the face of the goal she goes for the captain, Cathy Chartrand, who comes over the near side for Sherrard. Has her pocket picked there as Gaskin takes it into the near corner. Gaskin battling along the boards. It goes to Spooner and off of the stick of Terry in front. Here's Terry again with a follow-up attempt, a shot and a kick saved by Labonte. The rebound was there for Spooner, but she couldn't get her stick on it. And Bacchia has the puck knocked up in the air. Natalie Spooner battling with her along the boards. Bacchia tried to kick the puck free to a red jersey, but now she's just content to protect it. As Saunders is knocked down, puck comes free into the slot area. Here's Gaskin. Gaskin tries to feather it through. It's blocked there by Bacchia. She will settle the disc down, gain center, and play to the far side where it's intercepted by Kelly Terry. Baldwin now with Spooner in the slot. And Baldwin's shot does not get through as she fanned on it. So no shot on goal there for Toronto. Kim Deschênes up the left wing side for Bette. Bette chips the puck into the offensive zone and gives chase. Vela back for Toronto, turns it over. Bette walks out in front, and the puck skips over the stick of Kim Deschênes. Here is Julie Chu, cross ice pass right side for Rougeau. Rougeau in, passes, scores! Poulet off of the skate of Kessler, and it's 5-0 Les Canadiennes.
You know, you talk about not wanting to leave people who are really good at playing hockey open. Marie-Philippe Poulin had all of the time and space that she wanted there. As soon as the puck came over to her, she had a wide open net to the right of Christina Kessler. She manages to just get it in. And Caroline Ouellette had talked a little bit earlier about how the team was really aiming to shoot high. That's not something they've had to do in this third period, as they've had a couple of open net opportunities.
$5-0 Les Canadiennes lead the hockey game. Philippe's second goal of the game. Here's Bonello. Up the right side. The puck is going to go in deep. As back to play it is Bro. Far side for Ouellette. And with a steal in front for Vela, but it's broken up there by Ouellette. Ouellette at center on left wing side. Ouellette in. Ouellette towards the goal. Behind that she goes. Centers it. Blow. Slap shot. Hits a leg in front and goes out the far side. Rougeau and Deschênes pick up the assists on Poulin's second goal. And we're going to have some difficulty here, Robin, because the point streak live stat site has gone down for the league. So trying to keep up with the scoring, we will have to continue to, we'll have to just listen in as best as we can to get the scoring plays.
And Brampton versus Calgary is just getting underway now.
And that game is available on CWHL Live as well. For those of you watching tonight's game, you can just change the stream at the conclusion of tonight's game. It's 5-0 Montreal here with 12:35 to go in period number 3. Blais on the near side. Plays it back to Chartrand in her own zone. Settling the puck down. She'll backhand it over to the near side to Emmanuel Blais. Sidesteps the check of Gaskin. Goes right side for Saunders. Chelsea Saunders will backpedal at the blue line. A steal there by Suzuki. And skating it out to center ice on the near side is Baldwin. Baldwin ahead for Kelly Terry. Terry into the right wing corner. Tries to center. Goes off of Chartrand's skate. Chartrand and Terry continue their battle. And Baldwin comes up with a puck. She plays it back down low into the corner. Hill knocked down by Terry. Her stick was between the legs of Hill. That broke up the play. Molson at the left point. Molson faking the shot. Now we'll play it off the end boards to Spooner. Spooner behind the net. Locked up against the wall by Chartrand. Here's Baldwin on the near side. She too is taken to the wall there by Bro in a centering pass. Nobody home. Molson at the left point with a squibbler. Comes back to French. Her shot goes off of the stick of Peroff in front. And it is Terry in the far corner with it. Battling still with Hill. Chartrand with it as Les Canadiennes for the first time this period pinned in their own zone for a prolonged period of time. Here is Molson through traffic. Spooner spins and fires off the side of the goal. A centering pass ball into Spooner scores! It's 5-1. Toronto's on the board.
Well, and that somebody you don't want to leave in front of the net is Natalie Spooner, and Montreal really had a hard time getting out of their own zone there. They were a little bit gassed, weren't able to get a decent line change in. Natalie Spooner on the doorstep, ready to beat Charlene Labonte, top corner on her glove side.
Spooner's first of the postseason at 8:40 from Baldwin. And that makes the score 5-1 in the hockey game. Don't go anywhere, folks. This game is a long way from over, as we've seen on numerous occasions. Teams rallying from big deficits. As off the face-off, Rougeau will lift the puck into the offensive zone. Prévost on the near side. Has to reverse to the far side, as it will be Saunders, Michelle Saunders of Toronto, lifting it out to center. Not to be confused with Chelsea Saunders of Les Canadiennes. Bonello will play it down the ice. Chu on the far side. Saunders intercepts, heads it to Chevrolet. Chevrolet's pass to the near side for Bonello does not connect, and Willette has it away at center. Willette ahead for Katia Clément-Edra. She has it on the left wing side. Stick check there by Bonello. Bonello will skate it out to center ice. She loses a handle on the puck. Pro will play it back to Willette inside her own blue line. Now drops it down low for Aymar. Left side for Bro. Gives it back to Aymar, and she'll reset up the far side. Bocchia with it now. Cutting right to left through neutral ice. Will dump it in the left wing corner. Living there on a tee was Kessler. The puck comes out in front off of Bonello. And a good job there by Katie Gaskin to play it away from harm's way. And Toronto brings the puck in on the offside as Kurata could not control it as she brought it into Montreal territory.
One thing I'm continually impressed by about Charlene Labonte isn't just her ability to stop pucks, but it's her ability to play the puck as well. She's so good at creating a scoring opportunity just by having that perfect outlet pass and coming out to play the puck and get it up ahead to one of the defenders as they skate in for a rush.
So 5-1 the score, just under 10 minutes to go in period number 3. Les Canadiennes looking to take a 1-game-to-none lead in this best-of-3 series. Toronto was swept aside by the Clarkson Cup champion Boston Blades last year in the postseason as Blais between the face-off circles cuts wide to the right side. Gets around Sarah Stevenson. Still with it. To Bro with a sharp angle shot and a good stop there by Kessler to keep this a 4-goal game.
Yeah, it looked like Kessler wasn't quite sure whether or not she had the puck as you saw her do the old classic dart left, right, trying to find that puck. She found it, corralled it, smothers it, gets the whistle. Perfect call for her to make in that moment. everybody will get a line change, and the face-off comes to the right of Christina Kessler.
So Marie-Philippe Poulain at 3:40 unassisted makes it 4-0 for Les Canadiennes as point streak is back up and running now. Marie-Philippe Poulain from Montréal Rougeau and Kim Deschênes at 5:55, and then Spooner from Alyssa Baldwin at 8:40. That's where we stand right now with just under 10 to go in the third period. Chartrand with a wrist shot from the left point that goes off of Natalie Spooner over the glass and out of play.
Well, I was talking to you a little bit earlier, John. They do the good old half-and-half raffles here at the Canadiennes games, and on Sunday we weren't doing the broadcast, so I was here, and I thought, why the heck not? Carolyn Moulette's dad is selling the half-and-half tickets. I'm going to buy some. Wouldn't you know it, the number that ended up getting called was the one right after mine. So if I'd only bought 3 more tickets, I would be $250 richer today, John.
And then you could have bought dinner and drinks after the broadcast tonight.
Oh, exactly. That's the reason I can't do it today.
That's right, exactly. Here's Baldwin on the counterattack for Toronto. Right wing side. Takes a shot. Labonte goes down to the butterfly, and the rebound kicks over to the far side. That was a good one, Robin. Poulain tries to clear, and Toronto skated out to center ice as Kelly Terry gives it to Shannon Molson. She'll play it over to the near side as Toronto goes for a line change with 8:50 to go in regulation time. It's a 4-goal Montreal lead. Toronto's going to have to start pushing a little bit more here to try to get another goal, because right now the goal is to tie up the period and then try to win the period to claw back in this hockey game. Down by 4. Noémie Marin up the middle. Marin towards the goal she went. She peels off, sends it back to Julie Chu, who will send it behind Lynette. Saunders battling with Clément Aydra. She's knocked down. Chevry on the near side, can't get it past Marin, as the puck remains in the left wing corner in the attacking zone for Les Canadiennes. Here's Caro with that cross ice pass. Chu with a shot on the tip. That goes wide. A good play there by Ouellette to see Julie Chu streaking in from the right point.
Yeah, I think Toronto was expecting Carolyn Ouellette to take that shot herself. Instead, she finds Julie Chu, who takes the shot.
Saunders in her own zone, bothered there by the forechecking Emily Bacchia, as Saunders will clear it down the ice. Rougeau takes the pass from Julie Chu and skates away left wing side. Laurent Rougeau to the half boards, now goes down into the left wing corner, bothered there by Bonello. The puck comes off of Rougeau's stick, and coming up with it for Toronto is Katie Gaskin. Gaskin up the near boards, it hits Blais, and Sherrard knocks it down at center. Here's Emmanuel Blais, faking the shot, cutting wide, right side. Now centers it towards the goal. She hits Sherrard in the skate in front of the goal. Here's Sherrard. Alyssa Sherrard for the Canadiennes, not to be confused with wrong player. Not Sherrard, that would be Saunders.
Yeah, we got 2 Saunders on the ice tonight, or Sherrard.
As Amara has it for Toronto in neutral ice, and she'll backhand it down the ice. 7 minutes to go in the third period. 5-1 Les Canadiennes in this opening game of the best-of-3 series. Here is Fulton. Fulton at center to Zamara on the far side. She'll tip it into the offensive zone, but Amara knocks it down right away and plays it back to the Toronto blue line. Stevenson back in her own zone for Suzuki. Suzuki being bothered there by Blais. She turns it over. Right on the stick of Poulain. Not the player you want to give it away to. Poulain and takes the shot. The rebound off the end boards. Blais slaps it wide of the goal. Poulain to Deschênes in the corner. Deschênes behind the net. Over the far side she goes, and she'll play it behind the net for Carly Hill. Hill in from the point, gives it a shot, slap shot, and Kessler with the glove stop.
Wow, it's been an exciting third period with 6 minutes and 23 seconds left to play. I find myself looking over to Summer West and seeing at what point is she going to pull Christina Kessler to get the extra attacker? Is she of the Patrick Roy mind, where you pull her early and get that extra attacker and try and get yourself into the hockey game? Or does she want to play it safe and wait till a little bit later?
Off the draw, Chartrand to Poulain, back to the line to Chartrand, left point. Her shot is deflected into the paraphernalia of Baldwin. Poulain to Bette, her shot goes off of the stick of French over the glass and out of play.
Seen a lot of pucks going up high and over Christina Kessler tonight, and that lends to the fact that the Canadiennes were talking about the fact that the book on Kessler is to shoot high, and she's somebody that's going to get down into that butterfly position, and she's really good with her pads. She hugs that post well. If you're going to beat Christina Kessler, it's going to be top corner, and that's why they're taking all those shots. And unfortunately, when you miss a top corner shot, it's going to go up and out of play. And Toronto is calling a timeout here with about 5 minutes left to play.
So we're just underway in Calgary in the game number 1 of semifinal B in the CWHL, and literally just underway as the have played 1 second of the game, according to the live stats, so no score in that hockey game. Calgary edged out Brampton by 1 point in the standings, and that was due to a goal late in regulation time on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, what an exciting matchup for your entire season to come down to whether or not you get home ice. Comes down to that final game of the season, and that's against the opponent that you're going to be facing off against in the first round of the playoffs. So exciting. Great to see Calgary get that advantage. It's definitely difficult for either of those teams with that travel that's involved. With Calgary being so far west, it's definitely an advantage for them to have home ice advantage.
I can't wait to see what the crowd is like tonight out at Winsport, because Calgary has done a really great job since becoming the Inferno a couple of years ago, and just building up that franchise and building up the fan base out in Calgary, that beautiful arena out at Canada Olympic Park, COP for most people out west, or Winsport as it's now known. As Julie Chu off the faceoff takes a wrist shot. It's knocked down in front by Baldwin. She springs Spooner free at center. Backhand pass over to Terry on the right wing side. She'll feather it through just out of the reach of Spooner as she was trying to tip it into the vacant cage. Here's Baldwin into the slot, and she will play it into the right wing corner as Kelly Terry gives chase. Spooner behind the net, battling there with Rougeau. Rougeau locks her up. Poulin with the puck. On the forecheck, that's Baldwin. As Spooner gets it to Chu, who tips it ahead for Deschênes and gets it out to center. Les Canadiennes go for a line change. 5:40 to go in regulation time. 4-goal advantage for Les Canadiennes. Bonello being bothered there by Bette in front of her own goal. Here's Bonello curling back behind the net as Bette will go to the bench for a line change. Bonello to Baldwin, to Spooner, up the middle, to the right wing side. Now a pass to Kelly Terry. Her backhand passes goes off a skate, but right to Natalie Spooner. Spooner battling with Willette in the slot. She goes to the ice as Aymar takes her down, and Marin had it knocked away from her. Here's Prévost. Prévost tries to get a shot away. It goes off of Aymar into the far corner. Spooner now gives chase, but it will be Terry behind the goal, knocked down by Bro, and Katia Clément-Edra has it for the Canadiennes. Up the near side, it gets out to center as Gaskin will play it back towards her own blue line. It's intercepted by Marin. She has Willette going towards the goal. Firing it through. Willette tips it just wide of the post. Almost a hat trick for Caro. Here is Fulton. Tries to clear. Clément-Edra with it. She'll take it into the far corner. Back to the blue line it goes. Aymar, left point for Bro, back to Aymar, top of the arc. Her slap shot goes wide. Bro behind the net, centering pass, intercepted by Fulton. She will skate it towards the blue line and bank it off the boards out to center before going for a line change. 4:25 to go in the third period. Aymar, left wing side for Les Canadiennes. Plays it in deep. Here is Terry, up the near side for Toronto. Chevry will sweep it aside to the far vacant left wing side, where Aymar intercepted. Here's Paroff back the other way for Les Canadiennes. Centering pass for Bocchia. It goes down low. Here's Blay. She looked to wrap around, and instead she goes to Chartrand, hit her in the skate with the pass, and that broke up the scoring chance for Les Canadiennes. Just under 4 to go in the third period. Toronto down by 4, needing a goal desperately to get back in the hockey game as the puck goes off of Bocchia's stick and over the glass and into the crowd.
It's interesting to see the adjustments that Summer West has been making late in the game, seeing Kelly Terry being bounced back up to that line with Natalie Spooner, then being double shifted and playing on her usual second line, basically trying to get any offense that they can going here, hoping for that spark from that Spooner goal not be the only offense that they're able to generate in this hockey game. They don't want to lose this one 5-1. They want to at least make it difficult for the Canadiennes so that they don't feel well rested going into tomorrow's contest in Brassard.
Calgary shorthanded right now. They are tied with Brampton at zeros, but are out shooting the Thunder 7-0 early in the first period in that game. That's our alternate stream here on CWHL Live, and you can catch that game as soon as this one is done. Here's Bonello going to the left side. Marin with the steal. Marin tries to play it ahead for Clément-Edra. It hit a skate, but it is dumped in deep by Carly Hill now. As back to play it for Toronto is Curata. To Bonello, bank pass off the boards on the far side for Zamora. And offside, delayed offside, allows Montreal to break it out. Poulin juking and jiving, gives it to the right side for Bette, who gives it back to Poulin. Sidesteps the check as the crowd oohing and awing at the mastery that is Marie-Philippe Poulin out on the ice. Here is Chu, left point, down low Rougeau. Rougeau centering pass, Poulin fires it just wide as she too was looking for a hat-trick goal. Poulin back to the blue line. Kim Deschênes to to the half boards. Down low for Bete. Give and go back to Rougeau at the right point. Cross ice. Chu, her wrist shot through traffic. Knocked down in front. Deschênes upends a player in front of the goal. Comes up with it. Bete keeps the puck on side as she will dump it into the left wing corner and go for a line change. 2:22 to go in regulation time. It is a 4-goal advantage for the Canadiennes in this opening game of their series against the Toronto Furies. There's a check from behind in front of the bench by Baldwin, and that will get her the gate.
You talked about Kim Deschênes upending Bonello there. I think she kind of sold it a little bit. Bonello leads the Toronto Furies in penalties this season. I wonder how many of those were diving calls, because I think that if that had been a penalty against Kim Deschênes, the crowd here wouldn't have liked that one too much.
The Canadiens go to their 5th power play of the hockey game. They are 1 for 4 on the game. Looking to wrap this one up with 2:11 to go in the 3rd period. Poulain, Chu, and Bete up front. Rougeau and Willette on the backhand, and Toronto won the face-off, but Rougeau controls at the point. Gives it to Chu on the left wing side. Chu to Rougeau. Willette and Poulain both with a pair of goals tonight. Willette over to Poulain. Cross ice to Chu to Rougeau. Wrist shot, glove stop by Kessler.
It was fun to see the crowd oohing and awing as Marie-Philippe Poulain was displaying her mastery, as you called it. So some dangles, some dirty dangles from Marie-Philippe Poulain. She's just such a great stick handler, and it almost seems like she can just choose at whichever moment she wants to elevate her game. She does remind me a lot of Sidney Crosby, where it seems like in any given game, both these players just choose an aspect of their game that they want to focus on, and tonight it seems to be all about stick handling for Marie-Philippe.
Chu over to Rougeau, right side now for Willette. Dishes off to the half boards on the right wing side for Poulain. Down low for Bete. Back to Poulain. She'll walk the line. Exchange with Willette. Willette down low. Bete into the slot. Chu with a wrist shot. That is blocked in front. And the puck is cleared out to center past a diving Marie-Philippe Poulain. At her own blue line. Out of the watchful eye of Prévost. She'll leave it for Chu, who goes right side. Defensive zone for Willette. Drops it back for Chu. A minute 10 to go in the power play, 1:20 to go in the hockey game. The Canadiens are on the verge of taking the opening game of this best-of-3 series, leading 5-1. Katia Clément-Aydra, left wing side, solo player rush now. Has Deschênes in the slot, drops it back. Here is Aymar at the left point to the half wall for Deschênes, give and go Aymar. Aymar right side for Chartrand to Clément-Aydra into the slot. Backhand shot by Marin goes wide. A minute to go in the 3rd period. A steal there by Spooner. Spooner away at center. One-on-one with Chartrand. Spooner goes wide, right side. Wrist shot, stop, big rebound. Cleared aside by Deschênes on the power play. 35 seconds to go in the advantage. 40 seconds to go in the hockey game. Here's Deschênes. Drop pass. Clément-Aydra to Deschênes. She tried to get a backhand shot on goal. That didn't work as Chartrand has it at the right point. To Aymar. Aymar over to Chartrand. Winding, firing, knocked down in front as that went off of Marin, and she felt that. 25 seconds to go in the game. The Canadiens on the verge of taking a 1-0 lead in this series. Aymar, right side for Chartrand. She'll walk the line over to the left point. Bank pass off the end boards for Marin. Marin fanned on the pass back for Aymar. 10 seconds to go. Toronto back at full strength. Marin battling behind the net with Bonello. Perron with a on the short side, that was Perron with a shot. As time expires, Les Canadiens de Montréal lead the best-of-3 CWHL semifinal, 1-0.
And they're heading into this one not just with a victory, John, but with a definitive victory where they outshot their opponent, outplayed their opponent, outchanced their opponent, and most importantly, outscored their opponent. 5-1 the final, with Marie-Philippe getting a pair, Caroline Willette getting a pair. It's big when you have your big players stepping up in huge games like this, finding their names on the score sheet. Just shows how strong this leadership group is for Les Canadiennes, and they can feel confident heading into tomorrow's game at Brossard. 5 p.m. start time for Game 2 when Montreal can end this series.
That game will be on Sportsnet 1. It will not be on CWHL Live, but you will be able to watch it in the archive, and if necessary, game number 3 will be coming up on Sunday afternoon. 5-1 the final here in Montreal this evening. We'll be back with our post-game show in just a moment. You're watching CWHL Live. Back here at the Centre Étienne des Marteaux in Montreal, 5-1 the final score. The Canadiennes de Montréal defeat the Toronto Furies in game number 1 of their best of 3 CWHL semifinal series. The 3 stars being announced right now. The 3rd star in tonight's hockey game was Ann-Sophie. The 2nd star was Caroline Ouellette, and the 1st star is our good friend Marie-Philippe Poulin. So the final score 5-1. Les Canadiennes win this hockey game. Robin, let's take a quick look at the scoring summary. The only thing we don't have access to are the final shots on goal due to a technical glitch with point streak. But we do have the goal scorers and the times of the goals. So the opening goal of the hockey game, which looked for the longest time that it was going to be the winning goal of this hockey game, was Ann-Sophie, her first of the season, at 8:02 of the 2nd period. Helpers going to Kim Deschênes and to Marie-Philippe Poulin, but the eventual game winner comes off the stick of a legend in women's hockey.
Yeah, Caroline Ouellette scoring a pair very close together, especially that second goal that Caroline Ouellette scored to put Montreal up by a score of 3-0. The patience that she displayed on that wraparound to find the corner that she wanted, to pick it and take the shot. It ends up being the game winner. Her second goal, her first goal of the game is the game winner. Her second one, the insurance goal, puts Montreal up. This game was never in question. Toronto really needs to get more offense tomorrow if they want to have a chance of getting back into this series.
And then Marie-Philippe Poulin scores 2 goals, one in the 2nd period, one in the 3rd period, to make it 5-0 before Natalie Spooner scores to make it 5-1, and that's where we end the game tonight, 5-1 the final score.
Yeah, I was very impressed by a lot of things that I saw from Toronto. For one, Kelly Terry, I thought she had a really great game. She displayed a lot of speed, a lot of skill, as did Natalie Spooner, which didn't surprise me at all. Christina Kessler remained calm, cool, and collected, despite the fact that she gave up 5 goals, and that's not going to help her goals against average. I thought that she rebounded well. She didn't look rocky. She faced a lot of pucks tonight, and I think she'll probably get the start and goal tomorrow for Game 2.
So Game 2 tomorrow afternoon, 5 o'clock Eastern Time. That game is on Sportsnet 1. John Bartlett with the play-by-play. Cassie Campbell-Pascal with the color in that game. That game will be at the not the Centre Étienne des Marteaux. It will be at the Complexe Sportif Bell out in Brossard, Quebec, just on the South Shore. So if you're interested, there are still tickets available. You can get them at CWHL.ca. If not, you can watch the game on Sportsnet 1, or after the game, the archive here on CWHL Live. And if necessary, Game 3 will be Sunday afternoon, 3 o'clock Eastern Time, here with Robin Flynn, yours truly, with the call. Robin, it has been a fantastic season so far. We might not be able to do it again this year, but we'll certainly be looking forward to your reports from the Clarkson Cup Championship, as well as getting back together here on air next year.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun. It's been a wonderful season, and you know it may not be over for us. This game could still go to 3. Kessler could easily steal a game tomorrow in Brossard. But I mean, if it's another game like this, looks like Montreal's going to sweep this series in 2.
So Montreal leads this best of 3 series, 1-0. Game 2 tomorrow afternoon, possibly back here. Game 3 on Sunday afternoon with Robin and yours truly, John Bauer, on the call. And a reminder that all 3 games of the Calgary-Brampton series are live on CWHL Live, including a game that is underway right now, no score, between the Thunder and the Inferno out in Calgary at Winsport. So once we sign off here, please, we encourage you to take a look at that game and enjoy the second game of our twin bill. That second game of their series will be available tomorrow evening at 8:15 Eastern Time here on CWHL Live. So Robin, your final thoughts on what could be our final broadcast of the year?
I think that Montreal has had a phenomenal season, and I think the thing that Toronto struggled with the most today is the thing that all of their opponents struggled with this season, and that's the offense. It's just far too dynamic. You can't shut down just that first line when you've got a second and a third line that are more than capable of scoring, goals coming from the back end. It's really hard to defend against a team like that, and Toronto has less than 24 hours to figure it out if they want to get back in this series.
So the final score in today's game, Les Canadiennes de Montréal defeat the Toronto Furies 5-1 to take a 1-0 lead in this best of 3 series. Game 2 tomorrow afternoon. On behalf of Robin Flynn and our entire ISI Live crew here in Montreal, this is John Bauer reminding you Game 2 tomorrow afternoon on Sportsnet 1, and if necessary, Game 3 will be here on CWHL Live on Sunday. If this is the last time we get to speak with you this year, it's been our pleasure to bring you Montreal Canadiens hockey from Montreal this season. It's been an outstanding ride. You've been tuning in record numbers. Thank you very much for your continued ongoing support of the CWHL and women's hockey. And until we speak again, we bid you farewell from Montreal. Good night, everyone. Tonight's game on CWHL Live has been brought to you in part by Scotiabank, by Canada's Dairy Farmers, Winsport Canada, Sportsnet, Bauer Hockey, Tim Hortons, Toyota, the Globe and Mail, Molson Coors, Bridgeforce, Porter Airlines, Gong Show Gear, OMGs, the Calgary Flames, Toronto Maple Leafs, and the Montreal Canadiens.